it is the most bipolar Shakespeare show I've ever read. Um, and I think that's so funny for tonal changes to be just so rampant in a show like this. I'm gonna quickly introduce everybody. We're gonna start with where you're at, what your relation to theater Shakespeare is.
Cool. I'm in the Dayton area of Ohio. Fun place. I did acting in high school, acted a little bit in college, where I met Hunter. Hunter and I were in a little show of comedy of errors,
Yeah.
which was with Evan. It was a good time. I've done
That's
like
okay.
a few of these, so cool.
Classic. OG. Jacob, let's jump over to you.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I think only one of you knows me. I did I did acting from middle school all the way up through college. I have a bachelor's degree in theater. I'm in the Lincoln Park area of Chicago, but soon to be relocated to Rogers Park.
Lovely. Let's go to Emily. Hi.
Hi, I'm Emily. Um, I did a lot of theater in middle school, high school, college. Um, but I didn't really know much about Shakespeare until in 2018. A theater group near me was doing a children's theater production of Much Ado of Midsummer Night's Dream, and I didn't have anything really going on that summer, so I'd signed up, and I ended up just totally falling in love with Shakespeare's plays. Um, Two Noble Kinsmen is totally new to me, though.
Amen.
This
I'm
is
Maddie.
Maddie.
I'm Maddie. Um, Maddie, not Mandy. Because now there will be confusion. I'm in the Rogers Park area of Chicago. I am slowly convincing everybody that lives in Chicago to move here. And I've been acting since I was teeny tiny. My family was a theater family, so I grew up sort of on the road performing. Um, and most of my experience with Shakespeare is doing comedy sword fighting adaptations of just mostly making fun of Shakespeare and also wanting to be Puck when I grow up. So that's my experience.
And Maddie had it was my joy to have Maddie play Puck in our reading of Midsummer Night's Dream,
It was
which
very
was
exciting for me.
very happy. Evan, what's up, man?
Hello, all. I'm Evan. I also have been acting since I think I was 11. I also went to Cedarville and was in a perform in a in the aforementioned Shakespeare play with Joey and Hunter. Also, I am an English major and a dirty academic, so I've done plenty of reading of Shakespeare in my day. But yeah,
Did you just call yourself a dirty academic?
yes.
What does that mean?
So I really want to keep working in theater, but I more want to study it than I want to do it, and that's my way of admitting that particular flaw of my own.
Let's just spend the remainder of this video diving into Evan's flaws
It's a
and,
betrayal of
and
self.
vulnerabilities. Evan, your phone falling over is going to be the highlight of this whole event. Mandy, let's jump over to you.
I am in Wakanda, which is northwest suburb of Chicago. I have been doing community theater since I was like 12. So I'm really just a community theater person. I haven't done theater in school or anything. This is my first experience at all with Shakespeare. I've been like wanting to experience Shakespeare, so I was excited.
All right, I think that's everybody. There's nobody else. We didn't leave anybody behind, and that's it. Oh, Corey. Hi.
Hello. As you just heard, my name is Corey, and I probably have the least theater experience here. It sounds like I've acted twice. I did nothing before college, but I fell in love with Hamlet because of David Tennant. So I've been a fan of Shakespeare for a bit, and I'm excited to get to play an airhead today.
You should he also played Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing, and I think that's a really good production. It's on YouTube. You should find it.
David Tennant's Benedict is my favorite Shakespeare performance of all time.
I know, right?
That's like perfection right there. So that's what I expect from everybody. I will introduce myself. I'm Hunter. I run Neoteric Players, and so happy to have everybody here. I did Comedy of Errors with Joey and Evan in undergrad. I did Midsummer Night's Dream in undergrad. I am currently doing a collection of Shakespeare scenes called A Bit of the Bard for the Woodstock Shakespeare Players, so that's a delight. And nobody ever talks about Two Noble Kinsmen, and I love Two Noble Kinsmen. I see it as the sequel to Midsummer Night's Dream. It contains the characters of Theseus and Hippolyta about like a week after Midsummer Night's Dream. I think everybody should do this as like a double feature, and I don't know why anybody doesn't. Maybe some people do, but it doesn't go into like the mystical realm of Midsummer Night's Dream, but it's in Athens. It's the same two heads of Athens, and I think that's delightful. And we do have Emily returning as Hippolyta, which is lovely.
New plays and maidenheads are near akin. Much followed both, for much money given, if they stand sound and well. And a good play, whose modest scenes blush on his marriage day and shake to lose his honor, is like her that after holy tie and first night's stir, yet still is modesty, and still retains more of the maid to sight than husband's pains. We pray our play may be so, for I am sure it has a noble breeder, and a pure, a learned, and a poet never went more famous yet twixt Poe and Silver Trent. Chaucer of all admired the story gives. There, constant to eternity it lives. If we let fall the nobleness of this, and the first sound this child peer be a hiss, how will it shake the bones of that good man, and make him cry from underground, "Oh, fan from me the witless chaff of such a writer that blasts my bays and my famed works, makes lighter than Robin Hood." This is the fear we bring, for to say truth, it were an endless thing, and too ambitious to aspire to him, weak as we are, and almost breathless swim in this deep water. Do you but hold out your helping hands, and we shall tack about, and something do to save us. You shall hear scenes, though below his art, may yet appear worth 2 hours' travel. To his bones, sweet sleep, content to you. If this play do not keep a little dull time from us, we perceive our losses fall so thick, we must needs leave.
Roses, their sharp spines being gone, not royal in their smells alone, but in their hue, maiden pink of odor faint, daisies smell less, yet most quaint, and sweet thyme true, primrose firstborn child of beer, merry springtime's harbinger, with her bells dim, oxy lips in their cradles growing, marigolds on their deathbeds blowing, hard larks heeled trim, all dear nature's children sweet lie for bride and bridegroom's feet strew flowers. Blessing their scene, not an angel of the air, birds melodrons or birds fair. In absence hence, the crow, the slanderous coo, nor the brooding raven, nor chode har, nor chattering pie may on bride house perch nor sing, or with them any discord bring, but fly from it.
For pity's sake and true gentility's, hear and respect me.
For your mother's sake, and as you wish your womb may thrive with fair ones, hear and respect me.
Now, for the love of him who Jove had marked, the honor of your bed, and the sake of your clear virginity, be advocate for us our distresses. This good deed shall raise out thou book of trespass all your set down there.
Sad lady, rise.
Stand up.
No knees to me. What woman I may stead that is distressed does bind me to her.
What's your request? Deliver you for all.
We are 3 queens whose sovereigns fell before the wrath of cruel Creon, who endured the beaks of ravens, talons of the kites, and pecks of crows in the foul fields of Thebes. He will not suffer us to burn their bones, to earn their ashes, nor to take the offense of mortal loathsomeness from the blessed eye of holy Phoebus, but infects the winds with stench of our slain lords. O pity, Duke! Thou purger of the earth, draw thy feared sword that does good turns to the world. Give us the bones of our dead kings, and we may chapel them. And of thy boundless goodness take some note that for our crowned heads we have no roof, save this which is the lions and the bears, and vault to everything.
Pray you, kneel not. I was transported with your speech and suffered your knees to wrong themselves. I have heard the fortunes of your dead lords, which gives me such lamenting as wakes my vengeance and revenge for them. King Epicnetus was your lord. The day that he should marry you at such a season as now it is with me, I met your groom by Mars's altar. You were the time fair, not Juno's mantle fairer than your tresses, nor in more bounty spread her. Your wheaten wreath was then nor threshold nor blasted. Fortune at your dimpled cheek with smiles. Hercules, our kinsman, then weaker than your eyes, laid by his club. He tumbled down upon his Nemean hide, and swore his sinews thought, our grief and time, fearful consumers, you will all devour.
Oh, I hope some God hath put his mercy in your manhood, whereto he'll infuse power and press you forth, our undertaker.
Oh, no knees, none, widow. Unto thy helmeted Bellona use them, and pray for me, your soldier. Troubled I am.
Honored Hippolyta, most dreaded Amazonian, that hast slain the scythe-tusked boar, that with thy arm, as strong as it is white, wast near to make the male to thy sex captive. But that this thy lord, born to uphold creation in that honor first nature styled it in, shrunk thee into the bound thou wast overflowing, at once subduing thy force and thy affection. Soldieress, that equally canst poise sternness with pity, who now I know has much more power on him than ever he had on thee, who owest his strength and his love to, who is a servant for the tenor of thy speech. Dear glass of ladies, bid him that we, whom flaming war doth scorch under the shadow of his sword, may rule us. Require him, he advance it o'er our heads, speak it in a woman's key. Like such a woman as any of us 3, weep ere you fail. Lend us a knee, but touch the ground for us no longer time than a dove's motion when the head's plucked off. Tell him if he in the blood-sized field lay swollen, showing the sun his teeth, grinning at the moon, what he would do.
Poor lady, say no more. I had as lief trace this good action with you as that whereto I am going, and never yet went I so willing way. My lord is taken heart deep with your distress. Let him consider, I'll speak anon.
Oh, my petition was not to set down in ice, which was grieved, which a hot grief uncandied melts onto drops. So sorrow wanting from this is pressed into this deep matter.
Pray stand up. Your grief is written in your cheek.
Oh, whoa, you cannot read it there. There, through my tears like wrinkled pebbles in a glassy stream, you may behold in them, lady, attack! He will, with all the treasure known the earth, must know the center that he will fish for my least minnow. Let him lead his line to catch one at my heart. Oh, pardon me, extremity that sharpness sundry wits make me a fool.
Pray you, say nothing, pray you. Who cannot feel nor see the rain being in it knows neither wet nor dry. If that you were the ground piece of some painter, I would buy you to instruct me against a capital grief indeed, such heart-pierced demonstration. But alas, being a natural sister of our sex, your sorrow beats so ardently upon me that it shall make a counter-reflect against my brother's heart and warm it to some pity, though it were made of stone. Pray have good comfort.
Or to the temple, leave not out of jot, oh, the sacred ceremony.
Oh, this celebration will longer last and be more costly than your supplicant swore. Remember that your fame knolls in the ear of the world, that you do quickly is not rashly. Your first thought is more than others' labored meditance. You're premeditating more than their actions, but oh Jove, your actions, soon as they move as ospreys to the fish, subdue before they touch. Think, dear Duke, think what beds our slain kings have.
What griefs our beds that our dear lords have none.
None that fit for the dead. Those with cords, knives, drums, precipitate, weary of the world's light, that have themselves been death's most horrid agents, human grace affords them dust and shadow.
But our lords lie blistering for the visitating sun, and we were good kings when living.
It is true, and I will give you comfort, to give your dead lords graves, to which to do must make some work with Creon.
And that work presents itself in the doing. Now 'twill take form. The heats are gone tomorrow. Then bootless toil must recompense itself with its own sweat. Now he's secure. Not dreams we stand before your puissance, rinsing our holy begging in our eyes to make petition clear.
Now you may take him drunk with his victory.
And his army of bread and sloth.
Artesius, that best knowest how to draw out, fit to this enterprise, the primmest for this proceeding, and the number to carry such a business. Forth and levy, our worthiest instruments, whilst we dispatch this grand act of our life, this daring deed of fate in wedlock.
Dowagers, take hands. Let us be widows to our woes. Delay commends us to our famishing hope.
Farewell.
Farewell.
We come unseasonably, but when could grief call forth as unpaying judgment can? It's time for best solicitation.
Why, good ladies, this is a service whereto I am going greater than any was. It more imports me than all the actions that I have forgone, or futurely can cope.
The more proclaiming our suit shall be neglected when her arms, able to lock Jove from a synod, shall be by warranting moonlight corselet thee. Oh, when her twining cherries shall be their sweetness fall upon thy tasteful lips, what wilt thou think of rotten kings and blubbered queens? What care for what thou feelst not, what thou feelst being able to make Mars spurn his drum? Oh, if thou couch but one night with her, every hour in 'twill take hostage of thee for 100, and thou shalt remember nothing more than what that banquet bids thee do.
Though much unlike you should be so transported, as much sorry I should be such a suitor. Yet I think, did I not, by the abstaining of my joy, which breeds a deeper longing, cure their surfeit that craves a present medicine, I should pluck all ladies' scandal on me. Therefore, sir, as I shall here make trial of my prayers, either presuming them to have some force or sentencing for aye their vigour dumb, prorogue this business we are going about, and hang your shield afore your heart, about that neck which is my fee, and which I freely lend to do these poor queens service.
Oh,
Oh, help now!
Our
Our cause cries for your need.
If you grant not my sister her petition in that force, with that celerity and nature which she makes it in, from henceforth I'll not dare to ask you anything, nor be so hardy ever to take a husband.
Pray, stand up. I am entreating of myself to do that which you kneel to have me. Perithous, lead on the bride. Get you and pray the gods for success in return. Omit not anything in the pretended celebration. Queens, follow your soldier. As before, hence you. And at the banks of Olus, meet us with forces you can raise, where we shall find the moiety of a number for a business, more bigger looked. Since that our theme is haste, I stamp this kiss upon thy current lip. Sweet, keep it as my token. Set you forward, for I will see you gone. Farewell, my beauteous sister. Pirithous, keep the feast full, bate not an hour on.
I'll follow you at your heels. The feast solemnity shall want till your return.
Cousin, I charge you, budge not from Athens. We shall be returning ere you can end this feast, of which I pray you make no abatement. Once more, farewell all.
Thus dost thou still make good the tongue of the world.
And earnest a deity equal with Mars.
If not above him, for thou, being but mortal, makest the affections bend to godlike honors, they themselves, some say, grown under such mastery.
As we are men, thus should we do. Being sensually subdued, we lose our human title. Good cheer, ladies. Now turn me towards your comforts.
Dear Palamon, dear in love than blood, and our prime cousin, yet unhardened in the crimes of nature. Let us leave the city, Thebes, and the temptings in it, before we further sully our gloss of youth. And here to keep an abstinence we shame, as in incontinence. For not to swim, the aid, the current, were almost to sink, at least to frustrate striving, and to follow the common stream, 'twould bring us to an eddy, where we should turn down, if labor through our gain, but life and weakness.
Your advice is cried up with example. What strange ruins, since first we went to school, may we perceive walking in Thebes? Scars and bare weeds, the gain of a martialist, who did propound to his bold ends honor and golden ingots, which though he won, he had not, and now flirted by peace for whom he fought. Who then shall offer to Mars so scorned altar? I do bleed when such I meet, and wish great Juno would resume her ancient fit of jealousy to get the soldier work, that peace might purge for her repletion and retain anew her charitable heart, now hard and harsher than strife or war could be.
Are you not out? Meets you no ruin but the soldier in the cranks and turns of Thebes? You did begin as if you meant decays of many kinds. Perceive you none that do arouse your pity, but the unconsidered soldier?
Yes, I pity decays where'er I find them, but such most that, sweating in an honorable toil, are paid with ice to cool them.
'Tis not this I did begin to speak of. This is virtue of no respect in Thebes. I spake of Thebes. How dangerous, if we will keep our honors, it is for our residing, where every evil hath a good color, where every seeming good's a certain evil, where not to be in a jump, as they are here, we're to be strangers, and such things to be mere monsters.
'Tis in our power, unless we fear that apes can tutor us, be masters of our manners. What need I affect another's gait, which is not catching where there is fate? Or to be fond upon another's way of speech, when by mine own I may be reasonably conceived, saved too, speaking it truly. Why am I bound by any generous bond to follow him, follows his tailor, happily so long until the followed make pursuit? Or let me know why mine own barber is unblessed. With him my poor chin too, for 'tis not scissored just to such a favorite's glass. What cannon is there that does command my rapier from my hip to dangle it in my hand, or to go tiptoe before the street be foul? Either I am the forehorse in the team, or I am none that draw in the sequent trace. These poor slight sores need not a plantain, that which rips my bosom almost to the hearts.
Our Uncle Creon.
He, a most unbounded tyrant, whose successes makes heaven unfeared and villainy assured. Beyond its power there's nothing, almost puts faith in a fever, and defies alone voluble chance, who only attributes the faculties of other instruments to his own nerves and act, commands men's service, and what they win in it boot and glory. One that fears not to do harm, good, dares not. Let the blood of mine, that's assid to him, be sucked from me with leeches. Let them break and fall off me with that corruption.
Clear-spirited cousin, let's leave his court, that we may nothing share of his loud infamy. For our milk will relish of the pasture, and we must be vile or disobedient, not his kinsmen in blood, unless in quality.
Nothing truer. I think the echoes of his shames have deafened the ears of heavenly justice. Widows' cries descend again into their throats and have not due audience of the gods.
The king calls for you, yet be leaden-footed, till his great rage be off him. Phoebus, when he broke his whipstock, and exclaimed against the horses of the sun, but whispered to the loudness of his fury.
Small winds shake him, but what's the matter?
Theseus, who, where he threats appalls, hath sent deadly defiance to him, and pronounces ruin to Thebes, who at his hand to seal the promise of his wrath.
Let him approach, but that we fear the gods in him. He brings not a jot of terror to us. Yet what man thirds his own worth? The case is each of ours. When that his actions dragged with mind assured, 'tis bad he goes about?
Leave that unreasoned. Our services stand now for Thebes, not Creon. Yet to be neutral to him were dishonor, rebellious to oppose. Therefore we must with him stand to the mercy of our fate, who hath bounded our last minute.
So we must. Is't said this war's afoot, or it shall be, on fail of some condition?
'Tis in motion. The intelligence of state came in the instant with the death year.
Let's to the king, who, were he a quarter carrier of that honor which his enemy come in, the blood we venture should be as for our health, which were not spent, rather laid out for purchase. But alas, our hands advanced before our hearts. What will the fall of the stroke do damage?
Let the event that never erring arbitrator tell us. When we know all ourselves, let us follow the becking of our chance.
No further.
Sir, farewell. Repeat my wishes to our great lord, of whose success I dare not make any timorous question. Yet I wish him excess and overflow of power, and it might be to dure ill-dealing fortune. Speed to him. Store never hurts good governors.
Though I know his ocean is not my poor drops, yet they must yield their tribute here. My precious maid, those best affections, the heavens infuse in their best tempered pieces, keep enthroned in your dear heart.
Thanks, sir. Remember me to all our royal brother, for whose speed the great Bellona all solicit. And since in our terrene state petitions are not without gifts understood, I'll offer to her what I shall be advised she likes. Our hearts are in his army and his tent.
In his bosom. We have been soldiers, and we cannot weep when our friends don their helms, or put to sea, or tell of babes broached on the lance, or women that have sawed their infants in, and after eat them, the brine they wept at killing them. Then if you stay to see of us such spinsters, we should hold you here forever.
Peace be to you, as I pursue this war, which shall be then beyond further requiring.
how his longing follows his friend. Since his depart, his sports, though craving seriousness and skill, passed slightly his careless execution, where nor gain made him regard or loss consider, but playing one business in his hand, another directing in his head, his mind nurse equal to these so differing twins. Have you observed him since our great lord departed?
With much labor, and I did love him for it. They too have cabined in many as dangerous, as poor a corner, peril and want contending. They have skiffed torrents whose roaring tyranny and power in the least of these was dreadful, and they have fought out together where death's self was lodged. Yet fate hath brought them off. Their knot of love, tied, weaved, entangled with so true, so long, and with a finger of so deep a cunning may be outworn, but never undone. I think Theseus cannot be umpire to himself, cleaving his conscience into twain and doing each side like justice which he loves best.
Doubtless there is a best, and reason has no manners to say it is not you. I was acquainted once with a time when I enjoyed a playfellow. You were at wars when she the grave enriched, who made too proud the bed, took leave of the moon, which then looked pale at parting when our count was each 11.
'Twas Flavina.
Yes. You talk of Pirithous and Theseus's love. Theirs has more ground, is more maturely seasoned, more buckled with strong judgment, and their needs, the one or the other, may be said to water their entangled roots of love. But I, and she I sigh and spoke of, were things innocent. Loved, for we did, and like the elements that know not what nor why, yet do affect rare issues by their operance, our souls did so to one another. What she liked was then of me approved, what not condemned, no more arraignment. The flower that I would pluck and put between my breasts, oh, then but beginning to swell about the blossom, she would long till she had such another, and commit it to the like innocent cradle, where phoenix-like they died in perfume. On my head no toy, but was her pattern. Her affections pretty, though haply hers careless were, I followed for my most serious decking. Had mine ear stolen some new air, or at adventure hummed one from musical coinage, why, it was a note whereon her spirits would sojourn, rather dwell on and sing it in her slumbers. This rehearsal, which fury innocent wots well comes in like old importment's bastard, has this end, that the true love tween maid and maid be more than in sex individual.
You're out of breath, and this high-speeded pace is but to say that you shall never, like the maid Flavina, love any that's called man.
I am sure I shall not.
Now, alack, weak sister, I must no more believe thee in this point, though in it I know thou dost believe thyself, than I will trust a sickly appetite that loathes even as it longs. But sure, my sister, if I will write for your persuasion, you have said enough to shake me from the arm of the all-noble Theseus, for whose fortunes I will now in and kneel, with great assurance that we, more than his Pirithous, possess the high throne in his heart.
I am not against your faith, yet I continue mine.
To thee no star be dark.
Both heaven and earth friend thee forever.
All the good that may be wished upon thy head, I cry amen to it.
The impartial gods, who from the mounted heavens view us their mortal herd, behold who err, and in their time chastise. Go and find out the bones of your dead lords, and honor them with treble ceremony, rather than a gap should be in their dead rights. We wouldn't splight, but those we will depute which shall invest. You and your dignities, and even each thing our haste does not leave imperfect. So adieu, and heaven's good eyes look on you. What are those?
Men of great quality may be judged by their appointment. Some of Thebes have told that sisters, children, nephews to the king.
By Thelm of Mars. I saw them in the war. like a pair of lions smeared with prey, make lanes and troops aghast. I fixed my note constantly on them, for they were a mark worth of God's view. What prisoner was't that told me when I inquired their names?
We leave they're called Arcite and Palamon.
'Tis right. Those. They are not dead.
Nor in state of life had been taken. When their last names were given, 'twas possible they might be recovered, yet they breathe, and they have the name of men.
Then like men use 'em. The very least of such millions of rates exceed the wine of others. All our surgeons convent in their behoof, our richest balms rather than niggard waste. Their lives concern us, much more than Thebes is worth, rather than have 'em. Freed of this plight, and in their morning state sound at the liberty, I would 'em dead. But 40,000-fold we have had rather have 'em, prisoners to us than death. Bear 'em speedily from our kind heir to them unkind, and minister what man to man may do, for our sake more, since I have known frights, fury, friends' behest, love, provocations, zeal, a mistress' task. Desire of liberty, a fever, madness, hath set a mark which nature could not reach to without some imposition. Sickness in will, or wrestling, strengthen in reason. For our love and great Apollo's mercy, all our best, their best skill tender. Lead into the city, where, having bound things scattered, we will post to Athens for our army.
Urns and odors bring away, vapors, sighs darken the day, our dull more deadly looks than dying, balms and gums and heavy cheers, sacred vials filled with tears, and clamors through the wild air flying. Come all sad and solemn shows, that they are quick-eyed, pleasured foes. We convent not else but woes, we convent not else but woes. This funeral path brings to our household grave joy, sees you again, peace to sleep with him.
And this to yours.
Yours this way, heavens lend 1,000 differing ways to one sure end.
This world's a city of straying streets, and the death's a marketplace of which each one meets.
Wunderbar. Act 1, done. All right, we transition into completely new tone. Welcome to the adventures of the jailer and all of his other unnamed characters. Woohoo!
I may depart with little while I live, something I may cast unto you, not much, alas, the prison I keep, though it may be for great ones, yet they seldom come before, say, salmon to like the number of minnows. I am given out to be better line than I can, appear to report as it is a true speaker. I would, were I really like to be delivered to be, Mary, what I have. Be it what you will, I assure upon my daughter that'll be the day of my death.
Sir, sir, I demand no more than your own offer, and I will estate your daughter in what I have promised.
Well, we will talk more of this when the solemnity is past. But would you have a full promise of her? When shall she be seen? I tender my consent.
I have, sir. Here she comes.
Your friend and I have chanced to name you here upon the old business, but no more of that now. So soon as as soon as the court is hurried over, we will in time have the end of it. In the meantime, look tenderly to these two prisoners. I can tell they are princes.
These strolings are for the chamber. 'Tis pity they are in prison, and 'twere pity they should be out. I do think they have patience to make any adversity ashamed. The prison itself is proud of them, and they have all the world in their chamber.
They are framed to be a pair of absolute men.
By my troth, I think fame but stammers 'em. They stand a grace above the reach of report.
I heard them report in battle to be the only doers.
Nay, most likely, for they are noble sufferers. I marvel how they would have looked had they been victors, that with such a constant nobility enforce a freedom out of bondage, making misery their mirth and affliction a toy to jest at.
Do they so?
It seems to me they have no more sense of their captivity than I of ruling Athens. They eat well, look merrily, discourse on many things, but nothing of their own restraint in disasters, yet sometimes a divided sigh, martyred as 'twere, I think, in the deliverance, will break from one of them, when the other presently gives it so sweet a rebuke that I could wish myself a sigh to be so chid, or at least a sire to be comforted.
I never saw him.
The Duke himself came privately in the night, and so did they. What's the reason of it? I know not. Look yonder, there they are, Arcite's lookout.
No, sir, no. That is Palamon. Arcite is the lower of the twain. You may perceive a part of him.
Go to. Leave your pointing. They would not make us their object out of their sight.
It is a holiday to look on them. Lord, the difference of men.
How do you, noble cousin?
How do you, sir?
Why, strong enough to laugh at misery and bear the chance of war. Yet we are prisoners, I fear, forever, cousin.
I believe it, and to that destiny have patiently laid up my hour to come.
Oh, cousin Arcite, where is Thebes now? Where is our noble country? Where are our friends and kindreds? Never more must we behold those comforts, never see the hardy youths strive for the games of honor, hung with the painted favors of their ladies like tall ships under sail, and start amongst them, and as an east wind leave them all behind us, like lazy clouds, while Palamon and Arcite, even in the wagging of a wanton leg, outstrip the people's praises, when the garlands, ere they have time to wish them ours. Never shall we two exercise, like twins of honor, our arms again, and feel our fiery horses, like proud seas under us. Our good swords now, better the red-eyed god of war never wore, ravished our sides. Like age must run to rust, and deck the temples of those gods that hate us. These hands shall never draw them out like lightning to blast whole armies more.
No, Palamon. Those hopes are prisoners with us. Here we are, and here the graces of our youths must wither. Like a too timely spring, here age must find us. And, which is heaviest, Palamon? Unmarried. The sweet embraces of a loving wife, loaded with kisses, armed with 1,000 cupids, shall never clasp our necks. No issue know us, no figures of ourselves shall we e'er see, to glad our age, and like young eagles teach 'em boldly to gaze against bright arms and say, remember what our fathers were and conquer! The fair-eyed maids shall weep our banishments, and in their songs curse ever blinded fortune, till she for shame see what wrong she has done to youth and nature. This is all our world. We shall know nothing here but one another. Here nothing but the clock that tells our woes. The vine shall grow, but we shall never see it. Summer shall come, and with her all delights, but dead, cold winter must inhabit here still.
'Tis too true, Arcite. To our Theban hounds that shook the aged forest with their echoes, no more now must we halloo, no more shake our pointed javelins, whilst the angry swine flies like a Parthian quiver from our rages. struck with our well-steeled darts. O valiant uses, the food and nourishment of noble minds, and us too here shall perish. We shall die, which is the curse of honor, lastly, children of grief and ignorance.
Yet, cousin, even from the bottom of these miseries, from all that fortune can afflict upon us, I see two comforts rising, two mere blessings, if the gods please, to hold here a brave patience and the enjoying of our griefs together. Whilst Palamon is with me, let me perish if I think this is our prison.
Certainly 'tis a main goodness, cousin, that our fortunes were twined together. 'Tis most true, two souls put in two noble bodies, unsuffer. The gall of hazard, so they grow together, will never sink. They must not say they could. A willing man dies sleeping and all's done.
Shall we make worthy uses of this place that all men hate so much?
How, gentle cousin?
Let's think this prison a holy sanctuary to keep us from corruption of worse men. We are young and yet desire the ways of honor, that liberty and common conversation, the poison of pure spirits might, like women, woo us to wander from. What worthy blessing can be but our imaginations may make it ours. And here, being thus together, we are an endless mind to one another. We are one another's wife, ever begetting new births of love. We are father, friends, acquaintance. We are in one another families. I am your heir, and you are mine. This place is our inheritance. No hard oppressor dare take this from us. Here, with a little patience, we shall live long and loving. No surfeits to seek us. The hand of war hurts none here, nor the seas swallow their youth. Were we at liberty, a wife might part us lawfully, or business is quarrels consume us. Envy of ill men crave our acquaintance. I might sicken, cousin, where you should never know it, and so perish, without your noble hand to close mine eyes, or prayers to the gods, 1,000 chances, where were we from hence would sever us.
You have made me, I thank you, cousin Arcite, almost wanton with my captivity. What a misery it is to live abroad and everywhere. Tis like a beast to me, thinks. I find the court here, I'm sure, a more content. And all those pleasures that woo the wills of men to vanity, I see through now, and am sufficient to tell the world, 'tis but a gaudy shadow that old time, as he passes by, takes with him. What had we been old in the court of Creon, where sin is justice, lust, and ignorance, the virtues of the great ones? Cousin Arcite, had not the loving gods found this place for us, we had died as they do, ill old men, unwept, and had their epitaphs, the people's curses. Shall I say more?
I would hear you still.
Shall. Is there record of any two that loved better than we do, Arcite?
Sure, there cannot.
I do not think it possible our friendship should ever leave us.
Till our deaths, it cannot. And after our deaths, our spirits shall be led to those that love eternally. Speak on, sir.
This garden has a world of pleasures in it. What flower is this?
'Tis called Narcissus, madame.
That was a fair boy, certain, but a fool to love himself. Were there not maids enough?
Pray, forward.
Yes.
Or were they all hard-hearted?
They could not be to one so fair.
Thou wouldst not?
I think I should not, madame.
That's a good wench. But take heed to your kindness, though.
Why, madame?
Men are mad things.
Will you go forward, cousin?
Canst not thou work such flowers in silk, wench?
Yes.
I'll have a gown full of 'em, and of these. This is pretty color. Wilt not do rarely upon a skirt, wench?
Dainty, madame.
Cousin, Cousin, how do you, sir? Why, Palamon!
Never till now I was in prison, Arcite.
Why? What's the matter, man?
Behold and wonder. By heaven, she is a goddess.
Oh,
Do reverence, she's a goddess, Arcite.
Of all flowers, methinks a rose is best.
Why, gentle madam?
It is the very emblem of a maid. For when the west wind courts her gently, how modestly she blows and paints the sun with her chaste blushes. When the north comes near her, rude and impatient, then, like chastity, she locks her beauties in her bud again and leaves him to base briars.
Yet, good madam, sometimes her modesty will blow so far, she falls for it. A maid, if she have any honor, would be loath to take example by her.
Thou art wanton.
she is wondrous fair.
She is all the beauty extant.
The sun grows high. Let's walk in. Keep these flowers. We'll see how near art can come near their colors. I'm wondrous merry-hearted. I could laugh now.
I could lie down, I am sure.
And take one with you.
That's as we bargain, madam.
Well, agree then.
What think you of this beauty?
'Tis a rare one.
Is but a rare one.
Yes, a matchless beauty.
Might not a man will lose himself and love her?
I cannot tell what you have done. I have beshrew mine eyes for it. Now I feel my shackles.
You love her then,
Who would not?
and desire her.
Before my liberty.
I saw her first,
Oh, that's nothing.
but it shall be.
I saw her too.
But you must not love her.
I will not, as you do, to worship her, as she is heavenly and a blessed goddess. I love her as a woman, to enjoy her, so both may love.
You shall not love at all.
Not love at all. Who shall deny me?
I that first saw her, I that took possession first with mine eyes of all those beauties in her revealed to mankind. If thou lovest her, or entertainst a hope to blast my wishes, thou art a traitor, Arcite, and a fellow false is thy title to her. Friendship, blood, and all the ties between us I disclaim if thou once think upon her.
Yes, I love her. And if the lives of all my name lay on it, I must do so. I love her with my soul. If that will lose you, farewell, Palamon. I say again, I love, and in loving her maintain. I am as worthy and as free a lover, and have as just a title to her beauty as any Palamon or any living that is a man's son.
Have I called thee friend?
Yes, and have found me so. Why are you moved thus? Let me deal coldly with you. Am not I part of your blood, part of your soul? You have told me that I was Palamon, and you Arcite.
Yes.
Am I not liable to those affections, those joys, griefs, angers, fears my friend shall suffer?
You may be.
Why then would you deal so cunningly, so strangely, so unlike a noble kinsman, to love alone? Speak truly, do you think me unworthy of her sight?
No, but unjust if thou pursue that sight.
Because another first sees the enemy, shall I stand still, and let mine honor down and never charge?
Yes, if he be but one.
But say that one had rather combat me.
Let that one say so, and use thy freedom. Else, if thou pursuest her, be as that cursed man that hates his country, a branded villain.
You are mad.
I must be, till thou art worthy, Arcite, it concerns me. And in this madness, if I hazard thee and take thy life, I deal but truly.
Fie, sir. You played the child extremely. I will love her. I must. I ought to do so. and I dare and all this justly.
Oh, that now? That now? Thy false self and thy friend had but this fortune to be 1 hour at liberty and grasp our good swords in our hands, I would quickly teach thee what 'twere to filch affection from another. Thou art baser in it than a cut purse. Put thy head out of this window more, and as I have a soul, I'll nail thy life to it.
Thou darest not, fool. Thou canst not. Thou art feeble. Put my head out, I'll throw my body out, and leap the garden when I see her next, and pitch between her arms to anger thee.
No more, the keeper's coming. I shall live to knock thy brains out with my shackles.
Do.
By your leave, gentlemen.
Now, honest keeper?
Lord Arcite, you must presently be presently to the Duke. The cause I know not yet.
I am ready, keeper.
Prince Palamon, I must a while bereave you your fair cousin's company.
And me too. Even when you please of life, why is he sent for? And maybe he shall marry her, he's goodly. And like enough, the Duke hath taken notice both of his blood and body, but his falsehood. Why should a friend be treacherous? If that get him a wife so noble and so fair, let honest men ne'er love again. Once more I would but see this fair one. Blessed garden, and fruit, and flowers, more blessed that still blossom as her bright eyes shone on you. Would I were for all the fortune of my life hereafter, yon little tree, yon blooming apricot, how I would spread and fling my wanton arms in at her window. I would bring her fruit fit for the gods to feed on. Youth and pleasure still as she tasted should be doubled on her. And if she be not heavenly, I would make her so near the gods in nature they should fear her. And then I am sure she would love me. How now, keeper? Where's Arcite?
Banished. Prince Perithius obtained his liberty, but nevermore. Upon his oath and his life, he set foot upon this kingdom.
He's a blessed man. He shall see Thebes again and call to arms the bold young men that, when he bids them charge, fall on like fire. Arcite shall have a fortune if he dare make himself a worthy lover. Yet in the field to strike a battle for her, and if he lose her then, he's a cold coward. How bravely may he bear himself to win her if he be noble Arcite, 1,000 ways. Were I at liberty, I would do things of such a virtuous greatness. This blushing virgin should take manhood to her and seek to ravish me.
My lord, for you I have this charge to
Discharge my life?
No. But from this place to remove your lordship. The windows are too open.
Devils, take them that are so envious to me. Prithee, kill me.
And hang you afterward.
Had I a sword, I would kill thee.
Why, my lord?
Thou bringst such pelting scurvy news continually. Thou art not worthy life. I will not go.
Indeed, you you must, my lord.
May I see the garden?
No.
Then I am resolved. I will not go.
Then I must contain you then, and for you are dangerous. I'll clap you and I'll clap more irons on you.
Do good keeper, I'll shake him so you shall not sleep. I'll make you a new Morris. Must I go?
There is no remedy.
Farewell, kind window. May rude wind never hurt thee. Ah, my lady, if ever thou hast felt what sorrow was, dream how I suffer. Come, now bury me.
Banished the kingdom? 'Tis a benefit. A mercy I must thank him for. But banished the free enjoying of that face I die for. Oh, 'twas a studied punishment, a death beyond imagination. Such a vengeance, that were I old and wicked, all my sins could never pluck upon me. Palamon, thou hast the start now. Thou shalt stay and see her bright eyes break each morning against thy window, and let in life into thee. Thou shalt feed upon the sweetness of a noble beauty, that nature ne'er exceeded, nor ne'er shall. Good gods, what happiness has Palamon! 20 to 1 he'll come to speak to her, and if she be as gentle as she's fair, I know she's his. He has a tongue will tame tempests and make the wild rocks wanton. Come what can come. The worst is death. I will not leave the kingdom. I know mine own is but a heap of ruins, and no redress there. If I go, he has her. I am resolved another shape shall make me, or end my fortunes. Either way, I am happy. I'll see her and be near her, or no more.
My masters, I'll be there. That's certain.
And I'll be there.
And I.
Why then have with you, boys? 'Tis but a chiding. Let the plow play today. I'll tickle it out of the jade's tails tomorrow.
I am sure to have my wife as jealous as a turkey, but that's all one. I'll go through. Let her mumble.
Clapper aboard tomorrow night and stow her and all's made up again.
Do you put a fescue in her fist, and you shall see her take a new lesson out and be a good wench? Do you all hold against the main?
Hold? What should ail us?
Arcus will be there.
Why, and Senwa and Ricus and 3 better lads ne'er danced on the green tree. And you know what? Wenches. But will the dainty doe mine, the schoolmaster, keep touch? Do you think? For he does all, you know.
He'll eat a hornbook ere he fail. Go to, the matter's too far driven between them and the tanner's daughter to let slip now. And she must see the duke, and she must dance too.
Shall we be lusty?
All the boys in Athens blow wind in the breeches on, and here I'll be, and there I'll be, for our town, and here again, and there again. Boys, hey for the weavers.
This must be done in the woods.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, by any means, our thing of learning says so. Weary himself will edify the Duke most parlously on our behalfs. He's excellent in the woods. Bring him to the plains. His learning makes no cry.
We'll see the sports. Then every man's to tackle, and sweet companions, let's rehearse by any means before the ladies see us, and do sweetly, and God knows what may come on't.
Content. The sports once ended will perform. Away, boys, and hold.
By your leaves, honest friends, pray you, whither go you?
Whither? Why, what a question's that?
Yes, 'tis a question to me that know not.
To the games, my friend.
Where were you bred? You know it not?
Not far, sir. Are there such games today?
Yes. Mary, are there? And such as you never saw. The Duke himself will be in person there.
What pastimes are there?
Wrestling and running. 'Tis a pretty fellow.
Thou wilt not go along?
Not yet, sir.
Well, sir, take your own time. Come on, boys.
My mind misgives me. This fellow has a vengeance trick of the hip. Mark how his body is made for it.
I'll be hanged, though, if he dare venture. Hang him, plum porridge. He wrestle. He roast eggs. Come, let's be gone, lads.
This is an offered opportunity I durst not wish for. Well, I could have wrestled. The best men called it excellent, and run swifter than wind upon a field of corn. Curling the wealthy ears never flew. I'll venture, and in some poor disguise be there. Who knows whether my brows may not be girt with garlands, and happiness prefer me to a place where I may ever dwell in sight of her.
Why should I love this gentleman? 'Tis odds he will never affect me. I am base, my father the mean keeper of his prison, and he a prince. To marry him is hopeless, to be his whore is witless. Out upon what pushes are we wenches driven to when 15 once has found us? First I saw him, I, seeing, thought he was a goodly man. He has at much to please a woman in him, if he pleased to bestow it so as ever these eyes yet looked on. Next I pitied him, and so would any young wench. Oh, my conscience, that ever dreamed or vowed her maidenhead to a young handsome man. Then I loved him, extremely loved him, infinitely loved him, and yet he had a cousin, fair is he too. But in my heart was Palamon, and there, Lord, what a coil he keeps! To hear him sing in an evening, what a heaven it is! And yet his songs are sad ones. Fairer spoken was never gentleman. When I come in to bring him water in a morning, first he bows his noble body, then salutes me thus: Fair, gentle maid, good morrow. May thy goodness get thee a happy husband. Once he kissed me. I loved my lips the better 10 days after. Would he would do so, would he would do so every day. He grieves much, and me as much to see his misery. What should I do to make him know I love him? For I would fain enjoy him. Say I ventured to set him free. What says the law then? Thus much for a law or kindred. I will do it, and this night or tomorrow he shall love me.
You have done worthily. I have not seen since Hercules a man of tougher sinews. Whate'er you are, you run the best and wrestle that these times can allow?
I am proud to please you.
What country bred you?
This, but far off, Prince.
Are you a gentleman?
My father said so, and to those gentle uses gave me life.
Are you his heir?
His youngest, sir.
Your father sure is a happy sire, then. What proves you?
A little of all noble qualities. I could have kept a hawk, and well have hollowed to a deep cry of dogs. I dare not praise my feat in horsemanship, yet they that knew me would say it was my best piece. Last and greatest, I would be thought a soldier.
You are perfect.
Upon my soul, a proper man.
He is so.
How do you like him, lady?
I admire him. I have not seen so young a man so noble, if he say true of his sort.
Believe his mother was a wondrous handsome woman. His face, methinks, goes that way.
But his body and fiery mind illustrate a brave father.
Mark how his virtue, like a hidden sun, breaks through his baser garments.
He's well got, sure.
What made you seek this place, sir?
Noble Theseus, to purchase name and do my ablest service to such a well-found wonder as thy worth. For only in thy court of all the world dwells fair-eyed honor.
All his words are worthy.
Sir, we are much indebted to your travel, nor shall you lose your wish. Perithous, dispose of this fair gentleman.
Thanks, Theseus. Whate'er you are, you're mine, and I shall give you to a most noble service. To this lady, this bright young virgin.
Pray observe her goodness. You have honored her fair birthday with your virtues, and as your due, you're hers. Kiss her fair hand, sir.
Sir, you're a noble giver. Dearest beauty, thus let me seal my vowed faith. When your servant, your most unworthy creature, but offends you, command him die, he shall.
That were too cruel. If you deserve well, sir, I shall soon see't. You're mine, and somewhat better than your rank, I'll use you.
I'll see you furnished, and because you say you are a horseman, I must needs entreat you this afternoon to ride. But 'tis a rough one.
I like him better, prince. I shall not then freeze in my saddle.
Sweet, you must be ready. And you, Emilia, and you, friend, and all. Tomorrow by the sun to do observance to flowery May in Dian's wood. Wait, well, sir, upon your mistress. Emily, I hope he shall not go afoot.
That were a shame, sir. Well, I have horses. Take your choice in what you want at any time, but let me but know it. If you serve faithfully, I dare assure you, you'll find a loving mistress.
If I do not, let me find that my father ever hated disgrace and blows.
Go, lead the way, you have won it. It shall be so, you shall receive all dues, fit for the honor you have won. 'Twere wrong else. Sister, beshrew my heart that you have a servant that, if I were a woman, would be master. But you are wise.
I hope too wise for that, sir.
Let all the dukes and all the devils roar. He is at liberty. I have ventured for him, and out I have brought him to a little wood. A mile hence I have sent him, where a cedar higher than all the rest spreads like a plain, fast by a brook, and there he shall keep close, till I provide him files and food, for yet his iron bracelets are not off. O love, what a stout-hearted child thou art! My father durst better have endured cold iron than done it. I love him beyond love and beyond reason or wit or safety. I have made him know it. I care not. I am desperate. If the law find me and then condemn me for it, some wenches, some honest-hearted maids will sing my dirge, and tell to memory my death was noble, dying almost a martyr. That way he takes, I purpose is my way too. Since he cannot be so unmanly as to leave me there, if he do, maids will not so easily trust men again. And yet he has not thanked me for what I have done, no, not so much as kissed me. And that, methinks, is not so well, nor scarcely could I persuade him to become a free man. He made such scruples of the wrong he did to me and to my father, yet I hope, when he considers more, this love of mine will take more root within him. Let him do what he will with me, so he use me kindly, for use me so he shall, or I'll proclaim him, and to his face no man. I'll presently provide him necessaries, and pack my clothes up, and where there is a path of ground I'll venture, so he be with me. By him like a shadow I'll ever dwell. Within this hour the hubbub will be all o'er the prison. I am done kissing the men they look for. Farewell, father. Get many more such prisoners, and such daughters, and shortly you may keep yourself. Now to him.
The Duke has lost Hippolyta. Each took a several long. This is a solemn rite they owe bloomed May, and the Athenians pay it to the heart of ceremony. Oh, Queen Emilia, fresher than May, sweeter than her gold buttons on the bows, or all the enameled knacks o' the mead or garden, yea, we challenge to the bank of any nymph that makes the stream seem flowers. Thou, O drool, O the wood, O the world, hast likewise blessed apace with thy sole presence in thy rumination, that I, poor man, might eftsoons come between and chop on some cold thought. thrice blessed chance to drop on such a mistress, expectation most guiltless on it. Tell me, O Lady Fortune, next after Emily, my sovereign, how far I may be proud. She takes strong note of me, hath made me near her, and this beauteous morn, the primmest of all the year, presents me with a brace of horses. 2 such steeds might well be a pair of kings, backed in a field that their crowns, titles tried. Alas, alas! Poor cousin Palamon, poor prisoner. Thou so little dreamst upon my fortune, that thou thinkest thyself the happier thing to be so near Emilia. Me thou deemst at Thebes, and therein wretched, although free. But if thou knewst my mistress breathed on me, and that I eared her language, lived in her eye, O coz, what passion would enclose thee?
Greater kinsman,
No,
thou shouldst perceive my passion if these signs of imprisonment were off me, and this hand, but owner of a sword, by all oaths in one, I and the justice of my love would make thee a confessed traitor. O thou most perfidious that ever gently looked, the voiced of honor that e'er bore gentle token, falsest cousin that ever blood made kin. Call'st thou her thine? I'll prove it in my shackles with these hands, void of appointment, that thou liest, and art a very thief in love, a chaffy lord, nor worth the name of villain. Had I a sword, and these house clogs away?
dear cousin Palamon.
Cousin or Arcite, give me language such as thou hast showed me feet.
Not finding in the circuit of my breast any gross stuff to form me like your blazon holds me to, this gentleness of answer, 'tis your passion that thus mistakes, the which to you being enemy cannot to me be kind. Honor and honesty I cherish and depend on. Howsoever, you skip them in me, and with them, fair coz, I'll maintain my proceedings. Pray be blessed to show in generous terms your griefs, since that your questions with your equal, who professes to clear your own way with the mind and sword of a true gentleman.
That thou durst, Arcite.
My coz, you have been well advertised. How much I dare, you've seen me use my sword against the device of fear. Sure of another, you would not have me doubted. But your silence should break out, though I the sanctuary.
Sir, I have seen you move in such a place which well might justify your manhood. You were called a good knight and a bold, but the whole week's not fair if any day it rain. And their valiant temper men lose when they incline to treachery, and then they fight like compelled bears would fly were they not tied.
Kinsman, you might as well speak this enacted in your glass as to his ear, which now disdains you.
Come up to me. Quit me of these cold jibes. Give me a sword, though it be rusty, and the charity of 1 meal lend me. Come before me then, a good sword in thy hand, and do but say that Emily is thine. I will forgive the trespass thou hast done me, yet my life, if then thou carry it, and brave souls in shades that have died manly, which will seek of me some news from earth, they shall get none but this, that thou art brave and noble.
Be content. Again, betake you to your hawthorn house with counsel of the night. I will be here with wholesome viands. These impediments will I file off. You shall have garments and perfumes to kill the smell of the prison. After, when you shall stretch yourself and say, but Arcite, I am in plight, there shall be at your choice both sword and armor.
Oh, you heavens. There's any so noble bear a guilty business? None, but only Arcite. Therefore none, but Arcite, in this kind is so bold.
Sweet Palamon.
I do embrace you and your offer, for your offer do it I only. Sir, your person without hypocrisy I may not wish more than my sword's edge on it.
You hear the horns. Enter your musset. Let this match betweens be crossed ere met. Give me your hand. Farewell. I'll bring you every needful thing, I pray you. Take comfort and be strong.
Hold your promise and do the deed with a bent brow. Most, most certain you love me not. Be rough with me and pour this oil out of your language. By this air I could for each word give a cuff, my stomach not reconciled by reason.
Plainly spoken, yet pardon me hard language. When I spur my horse, I chide him not. Content and anger in me have but one face. Hark, sir, they call the scattered to the banquet. You must guess, I have an office there.
Sir, your attendance cannot please heaven, and I know your office unjustly is achieved.
'Tis a good title. I am persuaded by this question. Sick betweens by bleeding must be cured. I am a suitor, that to your sword you will bequeath this plea, and talk of it no more.
But this one word, you are going now to gaze upon my mistress. For note you, mine she is.
Nay, then.
Nay, pray you. You talk of feeding me to breed me straight. You are going now to look upon a sun that strengthens what it looks on. There you have a vantage o'er me, but enjoy it till I may enforce my remedy. Farewell.
He has mistook the break I meant, is gone after his fancy. 'Tis now well nigh morning. No matter, would it were perpetual night, and darkness lord of the world. Hark, 'tis a wolf. In me hath grief slain fear, and but for one thing, I care for nothing, and that is Palamon. I reck not if the wolves would jaw me, so he had this file. What if I hallowed for him? I cannot hallow. If I whooped, what then? If he not answered, I should call a wolf, and do him but that service. I have heard strange howls this livelong night. Why may it not be they have made prey of him? He has no weapons. He cannot run. The jingling of his gyves might call foul things to listen, who have in them a sense to know a man unarmed and can smell where resistance is. I'll set it down. He's torn to pieces. They howled many together, and they then fed on him. So much for that. Be bold to ring the bell. How stand I then? All cheered when he is gone. No, I lie. My father's to be hanged for his escape, myself to beg, if I prized life so much as to deny my act, but that I would not. Should I try death by dozens? I am moped. Food took I none these 2 days. Sipped some water. I have not closed mine eyes, save where my lids scoured off their brine. Alas, dissolve my life! Let not my sense unsettle, lest I should drown, or stab, or hang myself. O state of nature, fail together in me, since thy best props are warped. So, which way now? The best way is the next way to a grave. Each errant step beside is torment. Lo, the moon is down, the crickets chirp, the screech owl calls in the dawn. All offices are done, save what I fail in. But the point is this, an end, and that is all.
I should be near the place. Ho! Cousin Palamon!
Arcite.
The same. I have brought you food and files. Come forth and fear not. Here's no Theseus.
nor none so honest, Arcite.
That's no matter. We'll argue hereafter. Come, take courage. You shall not die thus beastly. Here, drink. I know you are faint. Then I'll talk further with you.
Arcite, thou mightst now poison me.
I might, but I must fear you first. Sit down and good now. No more of these vain parleys. Let us not, having our ancient reputation with us, make talk for fools and cowards. To your health.
Do.
Pray sit down then. Let me entreat you by all the honesty and honor in you. No mention of this woman twill disturb us. We shall have time enough.
Well, sir, I'll pledge you.
Drink a good hearty draught. It breeds good blood, man. Do you not feel it thaw you?
Stay. I'll tell you after a draught or two more.
Spare it not. The Duke has more, cuz. Eat now.
Yes.
I am glad you have so good a stomach.
I am gladder I have so good meat to it.
Is't not mad lodging here in the wild woods, cousin?
Yes, for them that have wild consciences.
How tastes your victuals? Your hunger needs no sauce, I see.
Not much, but if it did, yours is too tart, sweet cousin. What is this?
Venison.
'Tis a lusty meat. Give me more wine. Here, Arcite, to the wenches we have known in our day. The Lord Steward's daughter. Do you remember her?
After you, cuz.
She loved a black-haired man.
She did so. Well, sir.
And I have heard some call him Arcite. And
Out with it, Faith.
she met him in an arbor. What did she there, cuz? Play of the virginals?
Something she did, sir.
Made her groan a month or two, or 3, or 10.
The marshal's sister had her share too, as I remember, cousin. Else there'd be tales abroad. Your pleasure?
Yes.
A pretty brown wench 'tis. There was a time when young men went to hunting in a wood and a broad beach, and thereby hangs a tale, hey ho!
For Emily, upon my life. Fool, away with this strange mirth. I say again that sigh was breathed for Emily. Base cousin, dost thou break first?
You are wide.
By heaven and earth, there's nothing in thee honest.
Then I'll leave you. You're a beast now.
As thou mayst me, traitor.
There's all things needful, files and shirts and perfumes. I'll come again in some 2 hours hence and bring that shall quiet all.
A sword and armor?
Fear me not. You are now too foul. Farewell, get off your trinkets. You shall want not.
Sirrah?
I'll hear no more.
If he keep touch, he dies for it.
Oh, Maddie can't hear anything. It's fun. Sucks for her, I guess.
Entire thing deaf.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh,
Oh,
Dang, nabbit.
shoot.
Just
Here I
in
was
time to
just
hear
forgot-
sucks for her, I guess.
That wasn't directed toward you or the daughter.
I'm sure.
No, it was directed towards Corey.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Brutal. I am very cold, and all the stars are out too. The little stars and all that look like aglets. The sun has seen my folly. Palamon! Alas, no, he is in heaven. Where am I now? Yonder's the sea, and there's a ship. How 't tumbles! And there's a rock lies watching underwater. Now it beats upon it. Now! There's a leak sprung, a sound one. How they cry! Open her before the wind, you'll lose all else. Up with a course or two and tack about, boys! Good night. You're gone. I am very hungry. Would I could find a fine frog. He would tell me news of all parts of the world. Then would I make a carrack of a cockleshell and sail by east and northeast to the king of pygmies, for he tells fortunes rarely. Now my father, 20 to 1, is trussed up in a trice. Tomorrow morning I'll say never a word, for I'll cut my green coat a foot above my knee, and I'll clip my yellow locks an inch below mine eye. Hey, nonny, 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 he's by me a white cut, worth 4 to ride, and I'll seek him through the world that is so wide. Hey, nonny, nonny, nonny. Oh, for a prick now, like a nightingale, to put my breast against, I shall sleep like a top else.
Fie, fie. What tedious and insanity is here among you? Have my rudiments been labored for so long with you, milked onto and by a figure? Even the very plumb and brow of marrow of my understanding laid upon you, and yet you still cry, where, and how, and wherefore? You most coarse freeze capacities, you be G judgments. Have I just been said, let be thus, and there let be, and then let be, and no man can understand me. Pro diem meus fideius. You're all dunces. For while here I stand, here the Duke comes. There you are, close in a thicket. The Duke appears. I meet him, and unto him I utter learned things, and many figures. He hears and nods and hums, and then he cries, rare. And I go forward at my length and fling my cap up, mark there, and then you do was once the meagler. And hear the boar, beak come out before them. Like true lovers, cast yourselves upon a bloody descent, and sweetly by a figure trace and turn boys.
And sweetly we will do it, Master Gerald.
You're all up the company. Where's the taborer?
Why, Timothy?
Here, my mad boys, I've at ye.
But I say, where's their women?
Is Frizzin Maudlin.
Oh, and little Luce with the white legs and bouncing Barbary.
And freckled Nell, that never failed her master.
Where be your ribbons, maids? Swim with your bodies and carry sweetly delivered. And now and then a favor and frisk.
Let us alone, sir.
Where's the rest of the muscle of music?
Dispersed, as you commanded.
Couple, then, and see what's wanting. Where's Baravian? My friend, carry your tale without offense, or scandal to the ladies, and sure trouble the audacity of manhood, and when you bark, do it with judgment.
Yes, sir.
Oh, quotes in tandem. Here is a woman waiting.
We may all go whistle, all the fat's in the fire.
We have, as learned authors utter, wash a tile. We have been fatis and labored vainly.
Well, this is that scornful piece, that scurvy Hilding that gave her promise faithfully she would be here. Cicely, the sempster's daughter, the next gloves that I give her shall be dark-skinned. Nay, and she failed me once. You can tell, Arcus, she swore by vine and bread she would not break.
And eel and woman and learned poets say, unless by thy tail and with thy teeth thou hold, will either fail in manners. This was false position.
A fire ill take her. Does she flinch now?
What shall we determine, sir?
Nothing. Our business is become nullity, yeah? And a woeful and piteous nullity.
Now, when the credit of our town lay on it, now to be Ramble now to piss of the nettle, go thy ways. I'll remember thee, I'll fit thee.
The George allow come from the south, from the coast of Barbary, and there he met with brave gallants of war. By one, by two, by three, well hailed, you jolly gallants, and whither now are you bound? Oh, let me have your company till I come to the sound. There were 3 fools fell out about an owlet. The one he said was an owl, the other he said nay, the third he said it was a hawk, and her bells were cut away.
There's a dainty mad woman, master, come, I think, as mad as a March hare. If we can get her dance, we are made again. I warrant her she'll do the rarest gambles.
A mad woman? We are made, boys!
Are you mad, good woman?
I would be sorry else. Give me your hand.
Why?
I can tell your fortune. You are a fool. Tell 10. I have posted him, Buzz! Friend, you must eat no white bread. If you do, your teeth will bleed extremely. Shall we dance, ho? I know you. You're a tinker. Sirrah Tinker. Stop no more holes but what you should.
Dee, Bonnie, a tinker damsel?
Or a conjurer. Raise me a devil now and let him play. She passa the bells and bones.
Go, take her, and fluently persuade her to peace. Et opus agree, quod nec novis era. Neki ignis, strike up and lead her in.
Come, lass, let's trip it.
I'll lead.
Do.
Persuasively and cuttingly. Away, boys, I hear the horns. Give me some mediation and mark your cue. Pallas, inspire me.
This way the stag took.
Stay and edify.
What have we here?
Some country sport upon my life, sir.
Well, sir, go forward. We will edify. Ladies, sit down. We'll stay it.
Oh, thou doughty Duke, all hail, sweet ladies.
Is this a cold beginning?
If you but favor our country pastime is made, we are a few of these collected here, the rudder tongues distinguished villager, and and to say verify is not to fable, but a merry rout, or else a rabble, a company, or by a figure of chorus, that faux dignity, that dance of Morris, that I am a rectifier of all by the Pythagoras that let fall, the birch upon the breeches of the small ones, the humble of a furrow the tall ones. I do here present this machine or this fame, a dainty duke, or those doughty dismal fame. From dis to Daedalus, and from post to pillar is blown away. Help me, thy poor well wilter, and with thy twinkling eye look right and straight upon this mighty moor of mickle weight, is now comes in with being glued together, makes Morris, and cause that we make hither the body of our sport, and no small study. I first appear, though rude and raw and muddy, to speak before thy noble grace tenor, at whose great feet I offer my penner. The next Lord of May and Lady of Bright, chambermaid and serving of night, that seek out silent and hear mine host, and his fat spouse, and welcoming at their cost. at the gallant traveler, and beckoning informs the tapester, and inflaming of the reckoning. Then the beast-sitting clown, and next the fool, the Bavian, and the long-necked act tool. Come, Mathalus Alice, then make dance, say aye, and all shall presently advance.
Aye, aye, by any means, dear Daman.
Produce!
Infiltrate Fidel, come forth and foot it. Ladies, if we've been married, and pleased ye with dearie, and dearie be down, say schoolmaster's no clown. Duke, if we have pleased thee too, and have done as good boys do, give us but a tree or twain, and maypole again, Erie another year round, and make thee laugh, and all this rout.
Take 20, Domin. How does my sweetheart?
Never so pleased, sir.
'Twas an excellent dance, and for a preface I never heard a better.
Schoolmaster, I thank you. Once seen 'em all, rewarded.
And here's something to paint your pole withal.
Now to our sports again.
May the stag thou hunt stand long, and thou dogs be swift and strong, and may they kill 'em with outlets, and let the ladies eat down sets. Come, we are made, deus Daquius ohms. We've danced rarely, wenches.
About this hour, my cousin gave his faith to visit me again, and with him bring 2 swords and 2 good armor. If he fail, he's neither man nor soldier. When he left me, I did not think a week could have restored my lost strength to me. I was grown so low and crestfallen with my wants. I thank thee, Arcite, thou art yet a fair foe, and I feel myself with this fresh and able once again to outdoor danger. To delay it longer would make the world think, when it comes to hearing, by like patting like a swine to fight and not a soldier. Therefore, this blessed morning shall be the last, and that sword he refuses, if it but hold, I kill him with. 'Tis justice. So love and fortune for me. Oh, good morrow.
Good morrow, noble kinsman.
I have put you to too much pains, sir.
That too much, fair cousin, is but a debt to honor and my duty.
Would you were so in all, sir. I could wish you as kind a kinsman as you force me find a beneficial foe, that my embraces might thank you, not my blows.
I shall think either well done and noble recompense.
Then I shall quit you.
Defy me in these fair turns, and you show more than a mistress to me. No more anger, as you love anything that's honorable. We were not bred to talk, man. When we are armed and both upon our guards, then let our fury, like meeting of 2 tides, fly strongly from us. And then, to whom the birthright of this beauty truly pertains, without upbraiding, scorns, despisings of our persons, and such poutings, fitter for girls and schoolboys, we will be seen, and quickly, yours or mine, will't please you on. Sir? Or, if you feel yourself not fitting yet, and furnished with your old strength, I'll stay, cousin, and every day discourse you in depth. As I am spared, your person I am friends with, and I could wish I had not said I loved her, though I had died. But loving such a lady and justifying my love, I must not fly from it.
Arcite, thou art so brave an enemy, that no man but thy cousin's fit to kill thee. I am well, and lusty. Choose your arms.
Choose you, sir.
Will thou exceed in all, or dost thou do it to make me spare thee?
If you think so, cousin, you are deceived, for as I am a soldier, I will not spare you.
That's well said.
You'll find it.
Then As I am an honest man and love with all the justice of affection, I'll pay thee soundly. This I'll take.
That's mine then. I'll arm you first.
Do. Pray, tell me, cousin, where gotst thou this good armor?
'Tis the Duke's. And to say true, I stole it. Do I pinch you?
No.
Is it not too heavy?
I have worn a lighter, but I shall make it serve.
I'll buckle it close.
By any means.
You care not for a grand guard?
No, we'll use no horses. I perceive you would fain be at that fight.
I am indifferent.
Faith, so am I. Good cousin, thrust the buckle through far enough.
I warrant you.
My case now.
Will you fight bare-armed?
We shall be the nimbler.
But use your gauntlets, though. Those are the least. Prithee, take mine, good cousin.
Thank you, Arcite. How do I look? Am I fallen much away?
Faith, very little. Love has used you kindly.
I'll warrant thee, I'll strike home.
Do, and spare not. I'll give you a cause, sweet cousin.
Now to you, sir. Methinks this armor is very like that Arcite that thou worst that day the three kings fell, but lighter.
That was a very good one. And that day I well remember. You outdid me, cousin. I never saw such valor when you charged upon the left wing of the enemy. I spurred hard to come up, and under me I had a right good horse.
You had, indeed. A bright bay, I remember.
Yes, but all was vainly labored in me. You outwent me, nor could my wishes reach you, yet a little I did by imitation.
More by virtue. You are modest, cousin.
When I saw you charge first, methought I had a dreadful clap of thunder, break from the troop.
But still, before that flew the lightning of your valor. Say, little, is not this piece too straight?
No, 'tis well.
I would have nothing hurt thee, but my sword. A bruise would be dishonor.
Now I am perfect.
Stand off, then.
Take my sword. I hold it better.
I thank you, no. Keep it. Your life lies on it. Here's one. If it but hold, I ask no more for all my hopes. My cause and honor guard me.
And me, my love. Is there aught else to say?
This only, and no more. Thou art mine aunt's son, and that blood we desire to shed is mutual. In me thine, and in thee mine. My sword is in my hand, and if thou killst me, the gods and I forgive thee. If there be a place prepared for those that sleep in honor, I wish his weary soul that falls may win it. Fight bravely, cousin. Give me thy noble hand.
Here, Palamon, this hand shall never more come near thee with such friendship.
I commend thee.
If I fall, curse me and say I was a coward, for none but such dare die in these just trials. Once more farewell, my cousin.
Farewell, Arcite. Fight, 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 fight.
Horn. Lo, cousin! Lo, our folly has undone us.
Why?
This is the Duke a-hunting. As I told you, if we be found, we are wretched. Oh, retire for honor's sake and safely, presently into your bush again. Sir, we shall find too many hours to die in, gentle cousin. If you be seen, you perish instantly for breaking prison. And I, if you reveal me, for my contempt. Then all the world will scorn us and say we had a noble difference, but base disposers of it.
No, cousin. I will no more be hidden, nor put off this great adventure to a second trial. I know your cunning, and I know your cause. He that faints now, shame take him. Put thyself upon thy present guard.
You are not mad?
I will make the advantage of this hour mine own, and what to come shall threaten me, I fear less than my fortune. Know, weak cousin, I love Emilia, and in that I'll bury thee and all crosses else.
Then come what can come. Thou shalt know, Palamon. I dare as well. Die as discourse or sleep. Only this fears me. The law will have the honor of our ends. Have at thy life!
Look to thine own well, Arcite. Fight, 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 fight.
Fight, fight, fight. Horn.
What ignorant and mad malicious traitors are you, that against the tenor of my laws are making battle thus like knights appointed without my leave and officers of arms? By Castor, both shall die.
Hold thy word, Theseus. We are certainly both traitors, both despisers of thee and of thy goodness. I am Palamon, that cannot love thee, he that broke thy prison. Think well what that deserves. And this is Arcite, a bolder traitor, never trod thy ground, a falser ne'er seemed friend. This is the man was begged and banished. This is he contemns thee, and what thou darest to do. And in this disguise, against thine own edict, follows thy sister, that fortunate bright star, the fair Emilia, whose servant, if there be a right in seeing and first bequeathing of the soul to, justly I am, and, which is more, dares think her his. This treachery, like a most trusty lover, I called him now to answer. If thou beest, as thou art spoken, great and virtuous, the true decider of all injuries, say, fight again, and thou shalt see me, Theseus, to such a justice thou thyself wilt envy. Then take my life. I'll woo thee to it.
Oh, heaven! What more than man is this?
I have sworn.
We seek not thy breath of mercy, Theseus. 'Tis to me a thing as soon to die as thee to say it, and no more moved. Where this man calls me traitor, let me say thus much. If in love be treason, in service of so excellent a beauty as I love most, and in that faith will perish, as I have brought my life here to confirm it, as I have served her truest, worthiest, as I dare kill this cousin that denies it, so let me be most traitor. And you please me for scorning thy edict. Duke, ask that lady why she is fair, and why her eyes command me. Stay here to love her, and if she say traitor, I'm a villain fit to lie unburied.
Thou shalt have pity of us both, O Theseus, if unto neither thou shalt mercy. Stop, as thou art just, thy noble ear against us, as thou art valiant for thy cousin's soul, whose 12 strong labors crown his memory. Let's die together at one instant, Duke. Only a little let him fall before me, that I may tell my soul he shall not have her.
I grant your wish. For to stay true, your cousin has 10 times more offended, for I gave him more mercy than you found, sir, your offenses being no more than his. None here speak for him, for ere the sun both shall sleep forever.
Alas, the pity! Now or never, sister, speak, not to be denied. That face of yours will bear the curses else of after ages for these lost cousins.
In my face, dear sister, I find no anger to 'em, nor no ruin. The misadventure of their own eyes kill 'em, yet that I will be the woman and have pity, my knees shall grow to the ground, but I'll get mercy. Help me, dear sister, in a deed so virtuous, the powers of all women will be with us. Most royal brother.
Sir, by our tie of marriage.
By your own spotless honor.
By that faith, that fair hand, and that honest heart you gave me.
By that you would have pity in another, and by your own virtues infinite,
By valor, by all the chaste knights I have ever pleased you.
These are strange conjurings.
Nay, then I'll undo. By all our friendships, sir, by all our dangers, by all you love most, wars and this sweet lady.
By that you would have trembled to deny a blushing maid.
By your own eyes, by strength in which you swore, I went beyond all women, almost all men, and yet I yielded, Theseus.
To crown all this by your most noble soul, which cannot want to mercy, I beg first.
Next, hear my prayers.
Last, let me entreat, sir.
For mercy.
Mercy.
Mercy on these princes.
You make my faith real. Say I felt compassion to them both. How would you place it?
Upon their lives, but with their banishments.
You are right, woman, sister. You have my pity. But want the understanding where to use it. If you desire their lives, invent a way safer than banishment. Can these two live and have the agony of love about them and not kill one another? Every day they'd fight about you, hourly bring your honor in public question with their swords. Be wise, then. And here forget 'em. It concerns your credit and my oath equally. I have said they die. Better they fall by law than one another. Bow not my honor.
My noble brother, that oath was rashly made, and in your anger your reason will not hold it. If such vows stand for express will, all the world must perish. Besides, I have another oath 'gainst yours of more authority, I am sure more love, not made in passion neither, but good heed.
What is it, sister?
Urge it home, brave lady.
That you would ne'er deny me anything fit for my modest suit and your free granting. I tie you to your word now. If you fail in it, think how you maim your honor. For now I am set a-begging, sir. I am deaf to all but your compassion, how their lives might breed the ruin of my name. Opinion, shall anything that loves me perish for me? That were a cruel wisdom. Do men prune the straight young boughs that blush with thousand blossoms because they may be rotten? O Duke Theseus, the goodly mothers that have groaned for these, and all the longing maids that ever love, if your vows stand, shall curse me and my beauty in their funeral songs, for these two cousins despise my cruelty and cry woe worth me, till I am nothing but the scorn of women. For heaven's sake, save their lives and banish 'em.
On what conditions?
Swear 'em never more to make their contention or to know me, to tread upon thy dukedom and to be, wherever they shall travel, ever strangers to one another.
I'll be cut to pieces before I take this oath. Forget I love her? Oh, all you gods, despise me then. By banishment, I not mislike. So we may fairly carry our swords and cause along, else never trifle, but take our lives, Duke. I must love and will. And for that love must and dare kill this cousin on any piece the earth has.
Will you, Arcite, take these conditions?
He's a villain then.
These are men.
No, never, Duke. 'Tis worse to me than begging to take my life so basely. Though I think I shall never enjoy her, yet I'll preserve the honor of affection and die for her. Make death a devil.
What may be done? For now I feel compassion.
Oh, let it not fall again, sir.
Say, Emilia, if one of them were dead, as one must, are you content to take the other to your husband? They cannot both enjoy you. They are princes as goodly as your own eyes, as noble as ever fame yet spoke of. Look upon them, and if you can love, end this difference. I give contest. Are you content to, princess?
With all our souls.
He that she refuses must die then.
Any death
Any
without
that invent, Duke.
If I fall from that mouth, I fall with favor, and lovers yet unborn shall bless my ashes.
If she refuse me, yet my grave will wed me. and soldiers sing my epitaph.
Make choice then.
Cannot, sir. They are both too excellent. For me, a hair shall never fall of these men.
What will become of them?
Thus I ordained it, and by my honor, once again it stands, or both shall die. You shall both to your country, and each within this month, accompanied with 3 fair knights, appear again in this place, in which I'll plant a pyramid. And whether before us that are here can force this cousin by fair and knightly strength to touch the pillar, he shall enjoy her. The other lose his head, and all his friends, nor shall he grudge to fall, nor thinks he dies with interest in this lady. Will this content you?
Here, cousin Arcite, I am friends again till that hour.
I embrace you.
Are you content, sister?
Yes, I must, sir, else both miscarry.
Come, shake hands again, then. And take heed, as you are gentlemen, with this quarrel sleep till the hour prefixed, and hold your course.
Dare not fail thee, Theseus.
Come, I'll give you now usage like the princes and to friends. When you return, who wins, I'll settle here. Who loses, yet I'll weep upon his bier.
Heard you no more? Was nothing said of me concerning the escape of Palamon? Good sir, remember.
Nothing that I heard, for I came home before the business was fully ended. Yet I might perceive, ere I departed, a great likelihood of both their pardons. For Hippolyta and fair-eyed Emily, upon their knees, begged with such handsome pity that the Duke, methought, stood staggering whether he should follow his rash oath or the sweet compassion of those 2 ladies, and second them, that truly noble prince, Prometheus, half his own heart, set in it too. But I hope all shall be well. Neither heard I one question of your name or his scape.
Pray heaven hold it so.
Be of good comfort, man. I bring you news, good news.
They are welcome.
Palamon has cleared you and got your pardon, and discovered how and by whose means he escaped, which was your daughter's, whose pardon is procured too, and the prisoner, not to be held ungrateful to her goodness, has given a sum of money to her marriage, a large one, I'll assure you.
You are a good man, and ever bring good news.
How was it ended?
Why, as it should be. They that ne'er begged, but they prevailed, had their suits fairly granted. The prisoners have their lives.
I knew it would be so.
But there be new conditions, which you'll hear of a better time.
I hope they're good.
They are honorable. How good they'll prove, I know not.
'Twill be known.
Sir, where's your daughter?
Why do you ask?
Oh, sir, when did you see her?
How he looks.
This morning.
Oh, was she well? Was she in health? Sir, when did she sleep?
These are strange questions.
I do not think she was very well. For now, you make me mind her. But this very day, I asked her questions and she answered me. So far as that, what she was, so childish, so silly, as if she were a fool, and innocent. And I was very angry. But what of her, sir?
Nothing but my pity. But you must know it, and as good by me as by another that less loves her.
Well, sir?
Oh, sir, not well.
Not right?
Not well.
'Tis too true. She is mad.
It cannot be.
I'll believe you'll find it so.
I have suspected. But what you've told me, the gods comfort her. Either it was a love of Palamon or the fear of miscarrying on his escape, or both.
Is likely.
But but why all this in haste, sir?
I'll tell you quickly. As I late was angling in the great lake that lies behind the palace, from the far shore, thick set with reeds and sedges, as patiently I was attending sport, I heard a voice, a shrill one, and attentive I gave my ear, when I might well perceive 'twas one that sang, and by the smallness of it, a boy or a woman. I then left my angle to his own skill, came near, and yet perceived who made the sound. The rushes and the reeds had so encompassed it. I laid me down and listened to the words she sung. For then, through a small glade cut by the fishermen, I saw it was your daughter.
Pray go on, sir.
Oh, she sung much, but no sense. Only I heard her repeat this often. Palamon is gone to the wood to gather mulberries. I'll find him out tomorrow. His shackles will betray him. He'll be taken. And what shall I do then? I'll bring a bevy, 100 black-eyed maids that love as I do, with chaplets on their heads and daffodillies, with cherry lips and cheeks of damask roses, and all will dance an antic for the Duke, and beg his pardon. And she talked of you, sir, that you must lose your head tomorrow morning, and she must gather flowers to bury you, and see the house made handsome. Then she sung nothing but willow, 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 and between ever was Palamon, 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 and Palamon was a tall young man. The place was knee deep where she sat. Her careless tresses, a wreath of bulrush round and about her stuck 1,000 freshwater flowers of several colors, that methought she appeared like the fair nymph that feeds the lake with waters. Or as Iris newly dropped down from heaven, rings she made of rushes that grew by, and to him spoke the prettiest posies. Thus our true love's tied, this you may lose, not me, and many a one. And then she wept, and sung again, and sighed, and with the same breath smiled and kissed her hand.
Alas, what pity it is.
I made into her. She saw me and straight sought the flood. I saved her and set her safe to land. When presently she slipped away into the city, made with such a cry and swiftness that, believe me, she left me far behind her. 3 or 4 I saw from far off cross her. One of them I knew to be your brother, where she stayed and fell, scarce to be got away. I left them with her, and hither to come to tell you. Oh, here they are.
May you never more enjoy the light. Is this not a fine song?
Oh, very fine one.
I can sing 20 more.
I think you can.
Yes, truly, I can. I can sing The Broom and Bonnie Robin. Are not you a tailor?
Yes.
Where's my wedding gown?
I'll bring it tomorrow.
Do very rarely. I must be abroad else to call the maids and pay the minstrels, for I must lose my maidenhood by cocklight. 'Twill never thrive else. O fair, O sweet.
You must e'en take it patiently.
'Tis true.
Good e'en, good men. Pray, did you ever hear of one young Palamon?
Yes, wench, we know him.
Is't not a fine young gentleman?
'Tis love.
By no mean cross her. She is then distempered, far worse than now she shows.
Yes, he's a fine man.
Oh, is he so? You have a sister.
Yes?
But she shall never have him. Tell her so. For a trick that I know, you'd best look to her. For if she see him once, she's gone. She's done and undone in an hour. All the young maids of our town are in love with him, and I laugh at him and let him all alone. Is not a wise course.
Yes.
There is at least 200 now with child by him. There must be 4. Yet I keep close for all this, close as a cockle, and all these must be boys. He has the trick on't. And at 10 years old they must all gelt for musicians and sing the wars of Theseus.
This is strange.
As ever you heard, but say nothing.
No.
They come from all parts of the dukedom to him. I'll warrant you, he had not so few last night as 20 to dispatch. He'll tickle up in 2 hours if his hand be in.
She's lost past all cure.
Heaven forbid, man.
Come hither.
Hither. You are a wise man.
Does she know him?
No, which she did.
You are master of a ship.
Yes.
Where is your compass?
Here.
Set it to the north, and now direct your course to the wood where Palamon lies longing for me. For the tackling, let me alone. Come, weigh my hearts cheerily.
Oh,
Wait.
oh, pop the boat,
Tis up
Wind's
the
fair.
mainsail.
The
Top
mainsail.
the line. Up with the mainsail. Where's your whistle?
Boom. Let's get her in.
Up to the top, boys.
Where's the pilot?
Here.
What canst thou?
A fair wood.
Barefort, master, tack about. When Cynthia with her borrowed light.
Yet I may bind those wounds up that must open and bleed to death for my sake else. I'll choose and end their strife. 2 such young handsome men shall never fall for me. Their weeping mothers, following the dead cold ashes of their sons, shall never curse my cruelty. Good heaven, what a sweet face has Arcite. If wise nature, with all her best endowments, all those beauties she sows into the births of noble bodies, were here a mortal woman, and had in her the coy denials of young maids, yet doubtless she would run mad for this man. What an eye, of what a fiery sparkle and quick sweetness has this young prince. Here love himself sits smiling. Just such another wanton Ganymede set Jove afire with and enforced the gods snatch up the goodly boy and set him by him a shining constellation. What a brow, of what a spacious majesty he carries, arched like the great-eyed Juno's, but far sweeter, smoother than Palot's shoulder. Fame and honor, methinks, from hence, as from a promontory pointed in heaven, should clap their wings and sing to all the underworld the loves and fights of gods and such men near 'em. Palamon, but in his foil, to him a mere dull shadow. He's swart and meager, of an eye as heavy as if he had lost his mother. A still temper, no stirring in him, no alacrity. Of all this sprightly sharpness, not a smile. Yet these that we count errors may become him. Narcissus was a sad boy, but a heavenly. Oh, who can find the bent of woman's fancy? I am a fool. My reason is lost in me. I have no choice, and I have lied so lewdly that women ought to beat me. On my knees I ask thy pardon. Palamon, thou art alone, and only beautiful, and these eyes, these bright lamps of beauty that command and threaten love, and what young maid dare cross 'em? What a bold gravity, and yet inviting has this brown manly face. Oh, love, this only from this hour is complexion. Lie there, Arcite. Thou art a changeling to him, a mere gypsy, and this the noble body. I am sotted, utterly lost. My virgin's faith has fled me. For if my brother but even now had asked me whether I loved, I had run mad for Arcite. Now if my sister more for Palamon, stand both together. Now come ask me, brother, alas, I know not. Ask me now, sweet sister, I may go look. What a mere child is fancy, that having two fair gods of equal sweetness, cannot distinguish, but must cry for both. How now, sir?
From the noble Duke, your brother. Madam, I bring you news. The knights are come.
To end the quarrel?
Yes.
Would I might end first. What sins I have committed, chaste Diana, that my unspotted youth must now be soiled with blood of princes, and my chastity be made the altar where the lives of lovers too greater and too better never yet made mother's joy must be the sacrifice to my unhappy beauty.
Bring him in, quickly, by any means. I long to see him. Your two contending lovers have returned, and with them their fair knights. Now, my fair sister, you must love one of them.
I had rather both, so neither for my sake should fall untimely.
Who saw him?
I a while.
And I.
From whence you come, sir?
From the knights.
Pray, speak. You that have seen them, what they are.
I will, sir. And truly what I think. 6 braver spirits than these they have brought, if we judge by the outside, I never saw read of. He that stands in the first place with Arcite, by his seeming, should be a stout man. By his face, a prince. His very looks say to him, his complexion, nearer brown than black, stern yet noble, which shows him hardy, fearless, proud of dangers. The circles of his eyes show fire within him, and as a heated lion so he looks. His hair hangs long behind him, black and shining, like a raven's wings, his shoulders broad and strong, armed long and round, and on his thigh a sword hung by a curious baldric, when he frowns to seal his will with. Better o' my conscience was never a soldier's friend.
Thou hast well described him.
Yet a great deal short, methinks, of him that's first with Palamon.
Pray, speak him, friend.
I guess he's a prince too. And, if it may be, greater. For his show has all the ornament of honor in it. He's somewhat bigger than the knights he spoke of, but of a face far sweeter. His complexion is as a ripe grape, ruddy. He has felt without doubt what he fights for, and so after to make this cause his own. In his face appears all the fair hopes of what he undertakes, and when he's angry, then a settled valor, not tainted with extremes, runs through his body and guides his arm to brave things. Fear he cannot. He shows no such soft temper. His head's yellow and hard-haired and curled, thick-twined like ivy tods. Not to undo with thunder, in his face the livery of the warlike maid appears, pure red and white, for yet no beard has blessed him, and in his rolling eyes sits victory, as if she ever meant to crown his valor. His nose stands high, a character of honor. His red lips, after fights, fit for ladies.
Must these men die too?
When he speaks, his tongue sounds like a trumpet. All his lineaments are as a man would wish him, strong and clean. He wears a well-steeled axe, the staff of gold. His age, some
25 and 20.
There is another, a little man, but of a tusked soul, seeming as great as any. Fairer promises in such a body, yet I never looked on.
Oh, he that's freckled face?
The same, my lord. Are they not sweet ones?
Yes, they are well.
Methinks, being so few and well disposed, they show great and fine art in nature. He's white-haired, not wanton white, but such a manly, next to an arbor, tough and nimble set, which shows an active soul. His arms are brawny, lined with strong sinews, to the shoulder piece. Gently they swell, like women new conceived, which speaks him prone to labor, never fainting under the weight of arms, stout-hearted still. But when he stirs, a tiger. He's gray-eyed, which yields compassion where he conquers, sharp to spy advantages where he finds them. He's swift to make them his. He does no wrongs, nor takes none. He's round-faced, and when he smiles, he shows a lover. When he frowns, a soldier. About his head, he wears the winner's oak, and in it stuck the favor of his lady. His age some 36. In his hand he bears a charging staff, embossed with silver.
Are they all thus?
They are all the sons of honor.
Now, as I have a soul, I long to see 'em. Lady, you shall see men fight now.
I wish it, but not the cause, my lord. They would show bravely about the titles of 2 kingdoms. 'Tis pity love should be so tyrannous. Oh, my soft-hearted sister, what think you? Weep not till they weep blood. Blench it must be.
You have steeled 'em with your beauty. Honored friend, to you I give the field. Pray order it, fitting the persons that must use it.
Yes, sir.
Come, I'll go visit 'em. I cannot stay. Their fame has fired me so. Till they appear, good friend, be royal.
And there shall want no bravery.
Poor wench, go weep, for whosoever wins loses a noble cousin for thy sins.
Her distraction is more at some time of the moon than at some other some, is it not?
She's continuing is harmless demeanor, distemper, sleep a little altogether without appetite, save often drinking, dreaming of another world, the other better with broken piece of matter, so as she's about the name Palamon lauds it. She farces every business withal, fits to every question. Look, where she comes. You'll perceive her behavior.
I've quite forgot it, quite. The Burdinant was down and down and penned by no worse man than Geraldo, Emilia's schoolmaster. He's as fantastical, too, as ever he may go upon's legs. For in the next world will Dido see Palamon, and then will she be out of love with Aeneas.
What stuff's here, poor soul.
And thus all day long.
Now for this charm that I told you of, you must bring a piece of silver on the tip of your tongue, or no fairy. Then if it be your chance to come where the blessed spirits are, there's a sight now. We maids that have our livers perished, cracked to pieces with love, we shall come there and do nothing all day long but pick flowers with Persephone. Then will I make Palamon a nosegay, then let him mark me then.
How prettily she's amiss. Nerve her a little further.
Faith, I'll tell you, sometimes we go to barley break, we of the blesseds. Alas, 'tis a sore life, then have in the other place such burning, frying, boiling, hissing, howling, chattering, cursing. Oh, they have shrewd measure, take heed. If one be mad or hang up, or drown themselves, thither they go. Jupiter bless us, and there shall we be put in a cauldron of lead and usurer's grease amongst a whole million of cat purses, and there boil like a gammon of bacon that will never be enough.
How her brain coins.
Lords and courtiers that have got maids with child, they are in this place. They shall stand in fire up to the navel and in the ice, up to the heart, and there the offending part burns and the deceiving part freezes. In troth, a very grievous punishment, as one would think, for such a trifle. Believe me, one would marry a leprous witch to be rid of it, I'll assure you.
How she continues this fancy. 'Tis not an engraft madness, but a most thick and profound melancholy.
To hear a proud lady and a proud city wife howl together, I were a beast, and I'd call it good sport. One cries, "Oh, this smoke," the other, "This fire." One cries, "Oh, that I ever did it behind the arras," and then howls. The other curses the suing fellow in her garden house. I will be true, my stars, my...
What think of her, sir?
I think she has a perturbed mind, which I cannot minister to.
Alas, what then?
Understand you she ever affected any man ere she beheld Palamon?
I was once, sir, in a great hope she had fixated her likings on this gentleman, my friend.
I did think so too. And would account I had a great pennyworth on to give half my state that both she and I, at this present, stood unfeignedly on same terms.
This intemperate surfeit of her eye hath distempered the other senses. They may return and settle again to execute their preordained faculties, but they are now in a most extravagant vagary. This you must do. Confine her to a place where the light may rather seem to steal in than be permitted. Take upon you, young sir, her friend, the name of Palamon. Say you come to eat with her and to commune of love. This will catch her attention, for this her mind beats upon. Other objects are inserted between her mind and eye, become the pranks and friskins of her madness. Sing to her such green songs of love as she says Palamon hath sung in prison. Come to her stuck in as sweet flowers as the season is mistress of, and thereto make an addition of some other compounded odors which are grateful to the sense. All this shall become Palamon, for Palamon can sing, and Palamon is sweet, and every good thing. Desire to eat with her, carve her, drink to her, and still among intermingle your petition of grace and acceptance into her favor. Learn what maids have been her companions and playfares, and let them repair to her with Palamon in their mouths, and appear with tokens as if they suggested for him. It is a falsehood she is in, which is with falsehoods to be combated. This may bring her to eat, to sleep, and reduce what's now out of square in her into their former law and regiment. I have seen it approved, how many times I know not, but to make the number more, I have great hope in this. I will, between the passages in this project, come in with my appliance. Let us put it in execution and hasten the success, which, doubt not, will bring forth comfort.
Now let them enter, and before the gods tender their holy prayers. Let the temples burn bright with sacred fires, the altars and hollowed clouds commend their swelling incense to those above us. Let not dew be wanting, they have a noble work in hand, will honor the very powers that love 'em.
Sir, they enter.
You valiant and strong-hearted enemies, you royal German foes, that this day come to blow that nearness out that flames between you, lay by your anger, and for an hour, and dove-like, before the holy altars of your helpers. The all-feared gods bow down your stubborn bodies. Your ire is more than mortal, so for help be. And, as the gods regard you, fight with justice. I'll leave you to your prayers, and betwixt you I part my wishes.
Glass is running now, cannot finish till one of us expire. Think you but thus, that were there aught in me which strove to show mine enemy in this business, were it one eye against another, arm oppressed by arm, I would destroy the offender, cuz I would, though parcel of myself, then from this gather how I should tender you.
I am in labor to push your name, your ancient love, our kindred, out of my memory, and in the self same place to seat something I would confound. So hoist we the sails that must these vessels port, even where the heavenly limiter pleases.
You speak well. Before I turn, let me embrace thee, cousin. This I shall never do again.
One farewell.
Fine. Let it be so. Farewell, cuz.
Farewell, sir. Knights, kingsmen, lovers, yea, my sacrifices, true worshippers of Mars, whose spirit in you expels the seeds of fear and the apprehension which still is father of it. Go with me before the god of our profession. There require of him the hearts of lions, the breath of tigers, yea, the fierceness too, yea, the speed also, to go on, I mean. Else we wish to be snails. You know my prize must be dragged out of blood. Force and great feet must put my garland on. Where she sticks, the queen of flowers. Our intercession then must be to him that makes the camp a cistern, brimmed with the blood of men. Give me your aid, and bend your spirits toward him. Thou mighty one, that with thy power has turned green Neptune into purple, whose approach comets pre-warn, whose havoc in vast field unearthed skulls proclaim, whose breath blows down the teeming Ceres Fosson, who dost pluck with hand army potent from forth blue clouds the masoned turrets that both makest and breakest the stony girths of cities. Me, thy pupil, youngest follower of thy drum, instruct this day with military skill, that to thy laud I may advance my streamer, and by thee be styled the lord of the day. Give me, great Mars, some token of thy pleasure. O great corrector of enormous times, shaker or ranked states, thou grand decider of dusty old titles, that healest with blood the earth when it is sick, and cursed the world. O the pleurisy of people, I do take thy signs auspiciously, and in thy name to my design march boldly. Let us go.
Our stars must glister with new fire, or be today extinct. Our argument is love, which if the goddess of it grant, she gives victory too. Then blend your spirits with mine, you whose free nobleness do make my cause your personal hazard. To the goddess Venus, commend we our proceeding, and implore her power unto our party. Hail, sovereign queen of secrets, who hast power to call the fiercest tyrant from his rage, and weep unto a girl, that hast the might, even with an eye glance, to choke Mars' drum, and turn the alarm to whispers, that canst make a cripple flourish with his crutch, and cure him before Apollo, that mayst force the king to be his subject's vassal, and induce stale gravity to dance. The cold bachelor, whose youth, like wanton boys through bonfires, skipped thy flame, at 70 thou canst catch, and make him the scorn of his hoarse throat, abuse young blades of love. What godlike power hast thou not power upon? To Phoebus thou add'st flames hotter than his. The heavenly fires did scorch his mortal son, thine him. The huntress, all moist and cold, some say, begin to throw her bow away and sigh. Take to thy grace me, thy vowed soldier, who do bear thy yoke as 'twere a wreath of roses. It is heavier than lead itself, stings more than nettles. I have never been foul-mouthed against thy law, ne'er revealed secret, for I knew none. Would not had I kenned all that were. I never practiced upon man's wife, nor would the libels read of liberal wits. I never at great feasts sought to betray a beauty, but have blushed at simpering sirs that did. I have been harsh to large confessors, and have hotly asked them if they had mothers. I had one, a woman, and woman twere they wronged. I knew a man of 80 winters, this I told them, who, a lass of 14, brided. 'Twas thy power to put life into dust. The aged cramp had screwed his square foot round. The gout had knit his fingers into knots, torturing convulsions from his globey eyes, had almost drawn their spheres. That what was life in him seemed torture. This anatomy had by his young fair fear a boy, and I believed it was his, for she swore it was, and who would not believe her? Breathe. I am, to those that prate and have done, no companion. To those that boast and have not, a defier. To those that would and cannot, a rejoicer. Yet him I do not love that tells close offices the foulest way, nor names concealments in the boldest language. Such a one I am, and vow that lover never yet made sigh truer than I. Oh, then, most soft, sweet goddess, give me the victory of this question, which is true love's merit, and bless me with a sign of thy great pleasure. Oh, thou that from 11 to 90 reign'st in mortal bosoms, whose chase is this world, and we in herds thy game, I give thee thanks for this fair token, which being laid upon mine innocent true heart, arms in assurance my body to this business. Let us rise and bow before the goddess. Time comes on.
Oh, sacred, shadowy, cold and constant queen, abandoner of revels, mute contemplative, sweet, solitary, white as chaste and pure as wind-fanned snow, who to thy female knights allow'st no more blood than will make a blush, which is in their order's robe. I here, thy priest, am humbled for thine altar. O vouchsafe with that thy rare green eye, which never yet beheld thing maculate, look on thy virgin and sacred silver mistress, lend thine ear, which ne'er heard scurrile term, into whose port ne'er entered wanton sound, to my petition, seasoned with holy fear. This is my last of vestal office. I am bride habited, but maiden hearted. A husband I have pointed, but do not know him. Out of two I should choose one and pray for his success, but I am guiltless of election. Of mine eyes, were I to lose one, they are equal precious. I could doom neither. That which perished should go to it unsentenced. Therefore, most modest queen, he of the two pretenders that best loves me and has the truest title in it, let him take off my wheaten garland, or else grant the file and quality I hold I may continue in thy band. See what our general of ebbs and flows out from the bowels of her holy altar with sacred act advances but one rose. If well inspired, this battle shall confound both these brave knights, and I, a virgin flower, must grow alone, unplucked. The flower is fallen, the tree descends. Oh, mistress, thou here dischargedst me. I shall be gathered, I think so, but I know not thine own will. Unclasp thy mystery. I hope she's pleased. Her signs were gracious.
Has this advice I told you done any good upon her?
Oh, very much. The maids that kept her company have persuaded her that I am Palamon. Within this half hour, she came smiling to me and asked me what I would eat and when I would kiss her. I told her presently. I kissed her twice.
Was well done. 20 times had been far better, for there the cure lies, mainly.
Then she told me she would watch with me tonight, for well she knew what hour my fit would take me.
Let her do so, and when your fit comes, fit her home, and presently.
But she would have me sing.
You did so?
No.
'Twas very ill done, then. You should observe her every way.
Alas, I have no voice, sir, to confirm her that way.
That's all one. If you make a noise, if she entreat again, do anything. Lie with her if she asks you.
Over there, doctor.
Yes, in the way of cure.
But first, by your leave, to weigh honesty.
But that's but a niceness. Ne'er cast your child away for honesty. Cure her first this way, then if she will be honest, she has the path before her.
Thank you, doctor.
Pray, bring her in and let's see how she is.
I will. Tell her Palamon stays for her. But doctor, methinks that you and I is wrong still.
Go. You fathers are fine fools. Her honesty, and we should give her physic till we find that.
Why? Do you think she's not honest, sir?
How old is she?
She's 18.
She may be, but that's all one. 'Tis nothing to our purpose. Whate'er her father says, if you perceive her mood inclining that way I spoke of, videlicet, in the way of flesh, you have me?
Oh, yes. Very well, sir.
Please her appetite, and do at home. It cures her, ipso facto, the melancholy humor that infects her.
I'm of your mind, doctor.
You'll find it so. She comes, pray, humor her.
Come, your lovely Palamon stays for you, child, and has done this long hour to visit you.
I thank him for his gentle patience. He's a kind gentleman, and I am much bound to him. Did you never see the horse he gave me?
Yes,
How do you like him?
he's a very fair one.
You never saw him dance?
No.
I have often. He dances very finely, very comely, and for a jig come cut and long tail to him, he turns you like a top.
He's fine indeed.
He'll dance the Morris 20 mile an hour, and that will founder the best hobby horse. If I have any skill in all the parish, and gallops to the tune of Light o' Love, what think you of this horse?
Having these virtues, I think he might be brought around to play at tennis.
Alas, that's nothing.
Can he write and read too?
A very fair hand, and casts himself the accounts of all his hay and provender. That hostler must rise betime and cozens him. You know the chestnut mare the Duke has.
Very well.
She is horribly in love with him, poor beast, but he is like his master, coy and scornful.
What dowry has she?
Some 200 bottles and 20 strike of oats. But he'll never have her. He lisps in neighing able to entice a miller's mare. He'll be the death of her.
What stuff she utters!
Make curtsy, here your love comes.
Pretty soul, how do you? Oh, that's a fine maid. There's a curtsy.
Yours to command in the way of honesty. How far is't now to the end of the world, my masters?
Why, a day's journey, wench.
Will you go with me?
Oh, what shall we do there, wench?
Why, play stool ball. What else is there to do?
I'm content if we shall keep our wedding there.
'Tis true. For there, I will assure you, we shall find some blind priest for the purpose that will venture to marry us. For here they are nice and foolish. Besides, my father must be hanged tomorrow, and that would be a blot in the business. Are you not Palamon?
Do not you know me?
Yes, but you care not for me. I have nothing but this poor petticoat and 2 coarse smocks.
That's all one. I will have you.
Will you surely?
Yes, by this fair hand will I.
Will to bed then?
Well, and when you will.
Oh, sir, you would fain be nibbling.
Why do you rub my kiss off?
'Tis a sweet one, and will perfume me finely against the wedding. Is not this your cousin Arcite?
Yes, sweetheart, and I am glad my cousin Palamon has made so fair a choice.
Do you think he'll have me?
Yes, without a doubt.
We shall have many children. Lord, how you've grown. My Palamon, I hope, will grow too, finally. Now he's at liberty. Alas, poor chicken, he was kept down with hard meat and ill lodging. But I'll kiss him again.
What do you do here? You'll lose the noblest sight that e'er was seen.
Are they in the field?
They are. You bear a charge there too.
I'll straight away. I mustn't leave you here.
Nay, we'll go with you. I will not lose the sight.
How did you like her?
I'll warrant you, within these 3 or 4 days, I'll make her right again. You must not from her, but still preserve her in this way.
I will.
Let's get her in.
Come, sweet, we'll go to dinner, and then we'll play at cards.
And shall we kiss too?
100 times.
And 20.
And 20.
And then we'll sleep together.
Take her off her.
Yes, Mary, we will.
But you shall not hurt me.
I will not, sweet.
If you do, love, I'll cry.
I'll step no further.
Will you lose the sight?
I had rather see a wren hawk fly than this decision. Every blow that falls threats a brave life. Each stroke laments the place whereon it falls and sounds more like a bell than a blade. I will stay here. It is enough my hearing shall be punished with what shall happen, against the which there is no deafing but to hear, not taint mine eye with dread sights it may shun.
Sir, my good lord, your sister will know further.
Oh, she must. She shall see deeds of honor in her kind, which sometime show well, penciled. Nature now shall make and act the story, the belief, both sealed with eye and ear. You must be present. You are the victor's meed, the price and garland to crown the question's title.
Pardon me. If I were there, I'd wink.
You must be there. This trial is a twir in the night, and you the only star to shine.
I am extinct. There is but envy in that light which shows the one the other. Darkness, which ever was the dam of horror, who does stand accursed of many mortal millions, may even now, by casting her black mantle over both, that neither could find other, get herself some part of a good name, and many a murder set off whereto she's guilty.
You must go.
In faith, I will not.
Why, the knights must kindle their valor at your eye. No, of this war you are the treasure, and must needs be by to give the service pay.
Sir, pardon me. The title of a kingdom may be tried out of itself.
Well then, at your pleasure. those that remain with you could wish their office to any of their enemies.
Farewell, sister. I am like to know your husband for yourself by some small start of time. He whom the gods do of the two know best. I pray them he will be made your lot.
Arcite is gently visaged, yet his eye is like an engine bent, or a sharp weapon in a soft sheath. Mercy and manly courage are bedfellows in his visage. Palamon has the most menacing aspect. His brow is graved and seems to bury what it frowns on. Yet sometimes 'tis not so, but alters to the quality of his thoughts. Long time his eye will dwell upon his object. Melancholy becomes him nobly. So does Arcite's mirth. But Palamon's sadness is a kind of mirth, so mingled as if mirth did make him sad and sadness merry. Those darker humors that stick misbecomingly on others, on them live in fair dwelling. Hark, how yon spurs to spirit do incite the princes to their proof. Arcite may win me, and yet may Palamon wound Arcite to the spoiling of his figure. Oh, what pity enough for such a chance! If I were by, I might do hurt, for they would glance their eyes towards my seat, and in that motion might omit a ward or forfeit an offense which craved that very time. It is much better I am not there. Oh, better never born than minister to such harm. What is the chance?
The cries are Palamon.
Then he has won. 'Twas ever likely. He looked all grace and success, and he is doubtless the primmest of men. I prithee run and tell me how it goes.
Still Palamon.
Run and inquire. Poor servant, thou hast lost. Upon my right side still I wore thy picture. Palamon's on the left. Why so, I know not. I had no end in it else. Chance would have it so. On the sinister side the heart lies. Palamon had the best boding chance. This burst of clamor is sure the end of the combat.
They said that Palamon had Arcite's body within an inch of the pyramid, that the cry was general on Palamon, but anon, the assistants made a brave redemption, and the two bold titlers at this instant are hand to hand at it.
Were they metamorphosed both into one? Oh, why were there no women worth so composed a man? Their single share, their noblesse peculiar to them, gives the prejudice of disparity, value shortness to any lady breathing. More exulting, Palamon still.
Nay, now the sound is Arcite.
I prithee lay attention to the cry. Set both thine ears to the business.
The cry is Arcite, and victory, hark Arcite, victory! The combat's consummation is proclaimed by the wind instruments.
Half-sight saw that Arcite was no babe. God's lid his richness and costliness of spirit looked through him. It could no more be hid in him than fire and flax, than humble banks can go to law with waters that drift winds force to raging. I did think good Palamon would miscarry, yet I knew not why I did think so. Our reasons are not profits when oft our fancies are. They are coming off. Alas, poor Palamon.
Lo, where are sisters in expectation, yet quaking and unsettled? Fairest Emily, the gods by their divine betrayment have given you this night. Use a good one, as ever struck at head. Give me your hands, receive you her, you him. Be plighted with a love that grows as you decay.
Emily, To buy you, I have lost what's dearest to me, save what is bought, yet I purchase cheaply, as I do rate your value.
Oh, loved sister, he speaks now as a brave knight as e'er did spur a noble steed. Surely the gods would have him die a bachelor, lest his race should show it the world too godlike. His behavior so charmed me that methought Alcides was to him a sow of lead. If I could praise each part of him, to thall I shall have spoke. You, Arcite, did not lose byth, for he that was thus good encountered yet his better. I have heard two Emilius Philomas beat to air o' the night with their contentious throats. Now one the higher, and on the other, then again the first, and by out-breasted that the sense would not be judged between them. So it fared, good space between these kinsmen, till heavens did make hardly one the winner. Wear the garland with joy that you have won. For the subdued, give them our present justice. Since I know their lives but pinched them, let it be here be done. The scenes not for our seeing. Go we hence, right joyful, with some sorrow. Arm your prize. I know you will not lose her. Hippolyta, I see one eye of yours conceives a tear, to which it will deliver.
Is this winning? O all you heavenly powers, where is your mercy? But that your wills have said it must be so, and charge me live to comfort this unfriended, this miserable prince that cuts away a life more worthy from him than all women, I should and would die too.
Infinite pity that four such eyes should be so fixed on one, that two must needs be blind for it.
So it is.
Well, let me just take a moment then to say that that entire fight was bullshit and I should have won. But
I agree.
yeah,
Sorry, we're supposed to know this off stage.
Bigger muscles than you, and I'm hotter.
We'll see.
Palamon just couldn't make peace with the person who was madly in love with him right in front of him. So
Yeah,
He did die.
we didn't see it, but Palamon actually lunged for a kiss, and Arcite took it.
and that was his undoing.
Yeah, he was the first one to
Arcite
give
went
in.
for it too, and then in the middle of the kiss, just threw him on to the.
Yeah.
You actually just started making out, and then it was the first of you that came to your senses first.
Wow. Yeah.
I love that Emilia was just like, low key, I didn't think Palamon had it in him.
I'll be real.
Yeah.
Deeply shocked.
There's many a man alive that hath outlived the love of people. Yea, and the self-same state stands many a father with his child. Some comfort we have by so considering. We expire, and not without men's pity. To live still, have their good wishes, we prevent the loathsome misery of age, beguile the gout and rheum that in lag hours attend for grey approachers. We come towards the gods, young and unwrapped, not halting under crimes many and stale. That sure shall please the gods sooner than such, to give us nectar with them, for we are more clear of spirits. My dear kinsmen, whose lives for this poor comfort are laid down, you have sold them too cheap.
What ending could be of more content? Or us, the victors, have fortune, whose title is as momentary as to us death is certain. A grain of honor they not o'erweight us.
Let us bid farewell, and with our patience anger our tottering fortune. For at her certainest reels.
Come, who begins?
E'en he that led you to this banquet hall shall taste it to you all. Ah, my friend, your gentle daughter gave me freedom once. You'll see it done now forever. But how does she? I heard she was not well. Her kind of ill gave me some sorrow.
Sir, she's well restored, and to be married, actually.
My short life, I am most glad on it. 'Tis the latest thing I should be glad of. Prithee tell her so. Commend me to her, and to piece her portion, tender her this.
Nay, let's be offers all.
Is it a maid?
Verily, I think so. A right good creature, more to me deserving than I can quit or speak of.
Commend us
Commend
to
us
her.
to her.
The gods requite you all, and make her thankful.
Adieu, and let my life be now as short as my leave taking.
Lead, courageous cousin.
We'll
We'll
follow,
follow
cheerfully.
cheerfully.
Hold, hold, oh, hold, hold, hold.
Hold, ho! It is accursed haste you made if you have done so quickly. No, Palamon, the gods will show you their glory in a life that thou art yet to lead.
Can that be? When Venus, I have said, is false? How do things fare?
Arise, great sir, and give the tidings ear that are most dearly sweet and bitter.
What hath waked us from our dream?
Listen then, your cousin, mounted upon a steed that Emily did first bestow on him, a black one, owing not a hair worth of white, which some will say will weaken his price, and many will not buy his goodness with this note which superstition here finds allowance. On this horse is Arcite, trotting the stones of Athens, which the calkins did rather tell and trample, for the horse would make his leg a mile, if it pleased his rider to put pride in him, as he thus went counting the flinty pavement, dancing as twere to the music his own hooves made, for as they say, from iron came music's origin, but envious flint, cold as old Saturn, and like him possessed with fire malevolent, darted a spark, or what fierce sulphur else, to this end made. I commend not the hot horse, the hot as fire, took toy at this, and fell. To what disorder his power could give his will. Bounds, comes on end, forgets school doing, being therein trained and of kind manage. Pig-like, he whines at the sharp rowel, which he frets at rather than any Jotobes, seeks all foul means of boisterous and rough tradery to deceit his lord, and kept it bravery. When not served, when neither curb would crack, girth break, nor differing plunges, disroot his rider whence he grew, but that he kept him tween his legs. On his hind hoofs on end he stands, that Arcite's legs, being higher than his head, seemed with strange art to hang. His victor's wreath even then fell off his head, and presently backward the jade comes o'er his full poise becomes the rider's load. Yet he is living, but such a vessel 'tis that floats, but for the surge that next approaches. He much desire to have some speech with you. Lo, he appears.
Oh, miserable end of our alliance. The gods are mighty, Arcite. If thy heart, thy worthy, manly heart be yet unbroken, give me thy last words. I am Palamon, one that yet loves thee dying.
Take Emilia, and with her all the world's joy. Reach thy hand. Farewell. I have told my last hour. I was false, yet never treacherous. Forgive me, cousin. One kiss from fair Emilia. 'Tis done. Take her. I die.
Thy brave soul seek Ocean.
I'll close thine eyes, Prince. Blessed souls be with thee. thou art a right good man. And while I live, this day I give to tears.
And I to honor.
This place first you fought, e'en very here I sundered you. Acknowledge to the gods our thanks that you are living. His part is played, and though it were too short, he did it well. Your day is lengthened, and the blissful dew of heaven does arouse you. The powerful Venus well hath graced her altar and given you your love. Our master, Mars, hath vouched his oracle, and to Arcite gave the grace of the contention. So the deities have showed due justice. Bear this hence.
O cousin, that we should things desire which do cost us the loss of our desire, that naught could buy dear love but loss of dear love.
Never fortune did play a subtler game. The conquered triumphs, the victor has the loss, yet in the passage the gods have been most equal. Palamon, your kinship hath confessed the right, O the lady did lie in you. For you first saw her, and even then proclaimed your fancy. He restored her as your stolen jewel, and desired your spirit to send him hence forgiven. The gods my justice take from my hand, and they themselves become the executioners. Lead your lady off, and call your lovers from the stage of death, whom I adopt my friends. A day or two let us look sadly, and give grace unto the funeral of Arcite. In those end the visages of bridegrooms will put on and smile with Palamon, for whom an hour, but 1 hour since, I was so dearly sorry as glad of Arcite, and am now as glad as for him sorry. Oh, you heavenly charmers, what things you make of us! For what we lack, we laugh. For what we have are sorry, still are children in some kind. Let us be thankful for that which is, and with you leave dispute that are above our question. Let's go off, and bear us like the time.
I would but now ask ye how you like the play, but as it is with schoolboys, cannot say. I am cruel fearful. Pray, yet stay a while, and let me look upon thee. No man smile? That it goes hard, I see. He that has loved a young handsome wench, then, show his face. 'Tis strange if none be here. And if he will, against his conscience, let him hiss and kill our market. 'Tis in vain, I see, to stay thee. Have it the worst can come, then. Now what say ye? And yet mistake me not, I am not bold. We have no such cause, if the tale we have told, for 'tis no other way, any way content ye. For that honest purpose it was meant ye. We have our end, and you shall have, ere long, I dare say, many a better to prolong your old loves to us. We and all our might rest at your service. Gentlemen, good night.
You
I
weren't
love
like
it when
me.
Shakespeare basically ends his plays with like, hit that like button.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Join the Patreon.
That like button.
He did this in Midsummer Night's Dream too, but at least it was a little more subtle there.
Yeah.
So we
He
don't
does it
have
at the end of me. He does it at the end of Mitch to Do About Nothing as well. He's just like, and by the way, it's done. If you liked it, you can like it, but if you don't, please don't tell anyone.
No, in Midsummer's, it feels like it goes, all right then. If you didn't like it, just pretend it didn't happen. Now
Yeah.
get out of my face.
It was all a dream.
Have you guys read Winter's Tale?
I have.
No.
So halfway through the play, without warning, Time himself walks on stage, says, "Whoop-de-doo, 16 years have passed, and all these babies are adults now," and then leaves.
Can we talk
Oh,
about the
goodness.
extremely problematic doctor?
Yeah,
hey?
that's so problematic. Like, actually really
Jeez.
problematic. Hey,
I was
just
I was
tell her.
uncomfortable while doing it. Like,
Just tell her just tell her it's the girl. Just tell her it's the guy she likes.
No. If
We'll
this
convince her.
deeply mentally ill teenager asks you to have sex with her, just do it. What could go wrong?
If she asks you to pretend to be her pseudo ex and sleep with
I
her,
see no
just
problem
go
with
with
this.
it.
yeah.
Just say yes.
Just do it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shakespeare wasn't subtle with that one.
No.
Yeah.
I
Shakespeare-
appreciate Jacob, you saying the jailer is a villain, because he's definitely not. He just is trusting the advice of a doctor.
Yeah.
He's
That's
even
why
the only one that ever questions it.
That's why I was fighting it. When you guys were
Yeah,
like,
no.
yeah, just a villain. I'm like, no, he's just listening to what literally anyone's like, you should use mercury to cure your poisons. Like back then,
Oh, no.
yep, totally agree with you. Let's do mercury.
Before the duel is decided,
Mm-hmm.
had Emilia even met Palamon? Because I don't think she had. I think Arcite had been flirting with her for the last month. She meets the two of them, learn they're both in love with her, and she goes, they're both gorgeous. I can't decide.
I mean,
he didn't want either
I
of them.
I
really.
like that she's got both their pictures. And
Yeah.
she's monologuing, but like, did they carry these around like business cards, or did like Theseus commission?
No, it's right.
They were commissioned.
Genuinely, I don't think Emilia wants to be with either of them. I think
No.
she's just like, they're gonna die if I don't do so. If I'm not
Yeah,
involved,
her whole
they're
thing-
both
Yeah,
gonna
it's like
die.
it's a
She's not
trolley
interested.
problem.
Right. She's like, I gotta marry one of these guys just to save their life.
I gotta marry one of these guys to save one of them.
Right.
Not both.
Because the
one.
alternative is they both die.
Joey, can you put your call on speaker? I want to get in on this.
Yeah, Joey.
Yeah,
actually,
Joey,
I have
Joey.
a lot to. Joey.
I don't think he can hear us.
Very pointedly telling us that he will not.
Joey. Joey, tell
Give
them
me a
I'll
second.
get them on.
No.
Also, guys, don't you love how much those queens came into play?
Yeah, they were
wow.
so
Why were
important.
they there?
To start the
What was
war.
the point of that
They're warmongering
entire?
queens.
For
all of
some
it?
reason, Shakespeare felt he needed like a premise to show why he attacks Thebes and captures Palamon and Arcite. Like that
But-
story, that the only purpose of the queens is to give Theseus a reason to go attack Thebes and capture Palamon and Arcite for
Which
a
is-
full act.
I just feel as though we could have gotten like half of a page of monologue being like, these three mourning queens came to us and asked that we, but instead we just had a whole act of it.
I think we really learned from this play that Shakespeare really values women's agency.
Yeah,
Um,
that's clear.
yes.
He was like, you know how sometimes women are in love with men and can't have them? It's fine, just give them a different man.
But gaslight them about it.
There's got to be
Just
some,
lie.
but there
What are you
has
talking
got to
about?
be something deeper.
I have a woman on
because
stage.
Shakespeare-
Doesn't need a name.
But Shakespeare does genuinely write female characters
Right.
often. And
No.
this was written like at the end of his career. This was one of his.
And
This was like
This
his.
This was co-written with another guy.
He
This
was over it.
co-written with another guy.
He,
He
well,
was what?
he decided.
This was co-written.
This
Yeah.
was co-written.
Yeah,
But he decided
so it's
that
the other guy's
after a
but
long
Shakespeare wrote the
career-
Emilia stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because that whole thing is establishing that a woman isn't interested in men, and then showing how her interest in men is the only thing that will save people's lives.
Poetics.
Mm. Well, but no, Hunter's right, because like the popular framing of Shakespeare's career is that he does get better at writing women the further on, because his most
And then
famous
he gave up.
plays are like again Winter's Tale and dang it, The Tempest, right? Like these have really complex, interesting female characters in them, and they are also at the end of his career,
Mhm.
right? And so
He just
Sorry,
got
sorry.
bored. He was like,
He
I'm
did
so
get-
sick of women.
yes,
And I would argue that Emilia, I would say Emilia is arguably a very complex character who,
Yeah.
Yes.
like, genuinely is put in a really difficult place around extremely egotistical men. So
Yeah.
that's one way of looking at this. This is all like his plays that take place in like in
The
like
mythical
800.
past.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
1,000. This is like 1200 BC. Then this goes up to like 400 BC. Is these 6 plays?
Yeah, Ben had a lot of questions about how you placed some of these plays.
Okay.
He was like, "What year does Midsummer Night's Dream take place in? What do you mean?"
Well, we actually do kind of have a
Yeah, I mean, it's the
reference point for
beginnings
that
of-
because Theseus was allegedly a real person
Okay.
who really founded Athens.
So if you
Obviously,
look at like origins of Athens, these 2 plays are placed generally in like 1200 BC.
Benjamin, 1200 BC.
Where
I
did you
bet.
pull that number from?
Thebe. What was his name?
Because it's the start of Athens.
Theseus
It's the
started
beginning.
Athens. It's like Theseus is apparently a real guy. Presumably.
Well, really,
Allegedly.
Well, I don't know if he was the ancient Greeks.
Allegedly. I'm not the right
The
person
ancient
to-
Athenians thought he was a real person, and they had a ship that they said was Theseus's ship.
I love
All right,
that.
lovelies. This has been great. Catch you on the flippity flip.